This is the story of a boy who talked about stupid Nintendo games. Ever since 2017, he's done it 149 times and shows no sign of shame. Every single week he'd go Madden 08 this and Fling Smash that. It's really impressive how many sentences he could start with "Hey all." Any professional could make the argument he's gone off the deep end, but I think it's just how he's always been. He just enjoys talking about these things regardless of what situations he gets himself into. Plus, he buys a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff, and he stated on multiple occasions he evades taxes. Like, Jesus Christ, I think he does it for fun! But with the Christmas season upon us, his passion may have finally brought him towards a bit of a crisis.
Hey y'all, Scott here, and do I ever have a beef with the National Calendar Society? Months are opinions, not statements, so welcome to the month of Bluth! You see, I was always bummed by the fact there weren't a lot of holidays leading up to Christmas. December is just a month of filler with a climax at the very end, so I've effectively moved the first 23 days of Christmas into its own month Bluth with tons of new holidays. Today just so happens to be Why Is Scott Wearing That Hat Day. The only problem with the month of Bluth is that the last 6 days are reserved strictly for empathy. So it looks like I have some time to kill before Christmas, and what better way to pass the time than to look through some mail? I'm sold. Yep, this is the one. Always happens to me. Ah, hey y'all, Scott here.
Hey Scott, all here. My name's Terry Leslie and this is my assistant Jeb. Welcome to the 3rd annual Vegans Anonymous meeting.
Got a big showing this year.
So is this like a convention or a cult or a meeting?
Alright, so we got a little bit of column A, a little bit of column 3, and a whole lot in the cult column. You see, this time of year, there sure is a lot of dairy in the air, so we really just gotta come together this Christmas season.
It's hell.
Wanna join the resistance?
Well, anything to beef up my resume's cult section.
What? Come on! Why do you gotta do it here,
Think
man?
of the
It's
kids.
Christmas season.
Listen, I just don't want to walk out of the house without this thing and constantly ask myself, what if?
Well, that is what they all say.
Guys, I swear I wasn't planning anything nefarious. Listen, what if I make it up to you by spreading Christmas cheer the only way I know how?
I don't know, it's pretty hard to trust someone after a stunt like this. To me, you're basically wearing a racial slur on a shirt.
Thank you. But come on, give me a chance. It's impossible not to crack a smile while pummeling through Madden 08. Holy shit, there's a Madden 08? I know, I said the same thing when I first saw this game. The 8th Madden? Surely they've truly run out of ideas at this point. But right when I saw the opening cinematic, I knew I wasn't in for the 8th Madden. I was in for Madden 08.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
It sure is. The opening here cuts between real-life footage and in-game graphics to highlight just how real Madden 08 is, jamming in our skulls the question, who wants it more? And Jesus Christ, guys, my hand is as far up as I can make it. I do. After the NFL logo has some heart palpitations, we're greeted to... Welcome home, old friend. The Madden series was based off of the hit book, later adapted into a head coach, and finally turned into video game franchise extraordinaire. It's truly one of the most successful game series out there, even though I'd consider it to be a one-hit wonder. Madden 08 was officially let free to the public on August 14th, 2007 for the PC, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation Portable, Nintendo GameCube, Wii, Nintendo DS, Xbox, and Xbox 360, with a Mac version following suit on September 1st, 2007, which means us true Madden 08 fans disregard it hard. But you're probably yelling, tell me something I don't know. We're taking a look at the Xbox 360 version here, which many consider to be the best of the bunch, but I couldn't personally choose just one, they're all great. But before we get too deep, spoiler alert, for my favorite team I'm picking the Chiefs. I love kid cuisine, and who says video games aren't art? The 8th time's the charm, because we truly have a trifecta going on here. A little to the left we have all the trophies, a little to the middle we have all the class rings I refused to buy in high school, and at the sharp right we have an empty closet for expansion. Madden 08 is the video game to really redefine the Madden 08 genre. We play as the titular character Madden 08 on his trek to get from here all the way over there, with a football included in there somewhere. Seems simple, but we have so many roadblocks in our way, such as him, and even him. Some of the most iconic antagonists in all media. Like many great games, the concept is simple, but has a lot of depth. So many strategies are put into place before you can move. You can even ask a special guest star for advice on what to do exactly. You know, John Madden refused to put his name on the franchise if it wasn't as realistic as possible. That's interesting, so that means real football players can ask the ghost of John Madden for advice. Can't wait to unlock him as a playable character. Let's get into the game. Literally! In the My Madden section, we have to bang out our own custom player. Everybody please welcome Hidden Valley, hailing from Tucson, Arizona. His favorite color is auburn. In terms of stats, Hidden Valley has the stiffest arm in the county and very little else. But what's Hidden Valley without his team, the Clacks? We can customize the jersey color, pants color, helmet color, EA, you've done it again. Madden 08 is the first time I could ever live out my fantasy of owning a football stadium named the Clack Dome.
Wait, is this vegan?
Sure as hell's a whole lot of pigskin for this to be vegan.
Well, if that doesn't do anything for you, then we can move on to another version.
Next, we have 2007's Game of the Year runner-up, Madden 08 on the GameCube. Not as fully featured as its Xbox 360 counterpart, but if you can smell competency right now, surely you're getting a whiff of Madden 08 on the GameCube. It was the last game released on the console, and what a way to piss out. You see, this is the kind of game that needs to be re-released in HD on current game consoles. Hopefully if a re-release does well, we'll see a sequel to Madden 08.
Wouldn't that be Madden 09?
No.
Madden 08 2. Madden 09 doesn't count. It was an overhyped, underwhelming, spiritual successor to a game that deserved far more. Anyways, the GameCube version oddly has a radically different user interface compared to the Xbox 360 variant. Doesn't make it any less magical. There's so much room for creativity tucked in this game. For example, here's Mr. Madden 08 running away from every number lower or higher than 08.
You know what I'd like to see? Madden 08 for the DS.
You know, I don't actually have that version.
The DS version? You don't have the DS version, you have to have the DS version.
I mean, if it makes it any better, we can move over to the Wii one.
The Wii one!
At long last, we can feel what it's like to Madden 08 with the Wii's motion control capabilities. We can feel every Madden, every 08. This is truly a milestone. This is probably one of the more bare-bone home console versions of the Prophecy out on the market. Oh my god, I can't say something like that. It's Madden 08, just a bit simplified. Diet God is still God. The Wii version has a party mode that allows for everybody to join the craze. Only one Wii remote is required per player, and it makes everything way easier to grasp. With only a few flicks, you'll quickly understand Madden 08 is a right, not a privilege. The game is so smart with how it does everything. Even the credits are smart. They have these pockets of blank so you have time to breathe between the list of deities who made this. And on top of that, the music is phenomenal.
You listen to that baby purr.
Sounds f***ing dumb.
Alright guys, alright, what's your deal with this? Why are you being so tart with this?
Listen, man, Madden 08 just doesn't really speak to us.
Whoa, how do you know those were my 15 least favorite syllables in order?
Just a little too much Madden, not enough about my needs.
Not really my thing.
What?!
It's just too real.
Way too smooth, not for me at all.
I just don't get it! It's Madden in 2007! The two perfectly meld together! What more could you possibly want?
I don't know, something better?
Hey guys, look what I brought!
Holy shit, is that Madden 09?
Ah!
Jesus, Boomer! What did I tell you about the Madden 09 shit? We lose so many clients to that.
Where do you think he's going?
I don't know, my guess would be Target.
Oh, excuse me, sir. Do you need any help?
Where's the Madden aisle?
4 paces that way and hook a right.
Thanks. It's nice to see a Target employee that knows what they're doing.
Oh, no, I don't work here. I just love helping people.
God, I love vegan bread.
Pairs really with vegan coffee, too.
It's so vegan. God, not again.
I locked it.
Christmas is ruined.
Should we check the trash bag?
Nah, that would just be rude.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, looks like I was diagnosed with stealing every copy of Madden 18 from Target out of spite-itis because I just stole every copy of Madden 18 from Target out of spite. People need to realize there's only one Madden that matters. There's enough Madden in this world, but not enough 08.
Hey everybody, this is a pre-recorded news segment from August 2016. I'm just going to take a wild shot in the dark and say that all copies of Madden 18 are stolen from Target. Holy shit, I called it!
Hey, we've gone viral! Of course, I doubt they'll ever find the stolen loot. The last place anybody ever checks is the white trash bag in the fridge at a Vegans Anonymous gathering. By the way, f*** those guys. Let's play some more Madden 08.
911, what's your emergency? Yeah, I'll call you back later.
Every single copy of Madden 18 is gone from Target. I think we need to get You-Know-Who on the case.
Think it's worth his time?
Every single copy of Madden 18 is gone.
We got a mission for you.
I'm on it.
Officer Wool. Steel Wool.
Gotta tackle the original Xbox version next. Huh. Really should have put a notice on the box before I bought this console. Anyways, that means it's time to crack out the original Xbox for this bad boy. And man, this is... Madden 08. Kinda like most Maddens on the console. Let's move abruptly over to the PlayStation 2 version. Which is Madden, alright. PlayStation 3, it's... Madden. 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 Madden! What have I become? Turning to WebMD, it turns out I'm diagnosed with most peopleitis, which means I'm numb to Madden 08's effects. It's just a phase, however, don't worry. I'll be able to understand the differences between each version of Madden 08 and what makes it better than all Maddens in no time. But to aid me in my recovery, I've always feared this would happen, so I have my just-in-case Madden 08 loses its edge emergency bag on standby. This bag's scientifically proven to show me how well I had it off, with Madden 08 being my only Madden of choice. Ew. This is just hilarious.
Hey guys, look what I brought. Holy shit, is that Madden 09?
I don't know, man, I just feel overwhelmed with... I can't really understand why. Looks like I got a postcard. I'm gonna brush my teeth if you don't mind.
Hey y'all, 911 here. We're just calling house to house and seeing if you personally stole all the copies of Madden 18 from Target.
Listen, man, I don't have time for this. I'm brushing my teeth because of...
Based on past experiences, that doesn't sound like you're brushing with toothpaste. Sounds like you're brushing with Raid.
Not again.
You have dishonored my legacy.
Well, when you put it that way... Well, that was f***ing terrifying. Not that I would expect anything less from a Raid Buzz. But nothing's more terrifying than the post-Raid Buzz.
Hey, check this out. The Madden-o-meter's off the charts at the VAG, and the 18-o-meter's not too far off.
That might be where the stash is. Is Officer Wool on his way there?
Knowing him, he should be close. Oh, shit. He's just been driving around in circles for the last half an hour.
Let's just go there ourselves.
Freeze, you get on the ground, you scumbag piece of shit!
Nope. No sign of Madden 18 here. Wait, remember the last Madden scandal? Shit! Check the fridge!
Why? Why did you do it?
That is embarrassingly vague.
Stealing Madden 18 and blaming on a bunch of vegans.
Oh! That! Well, you see, they didn't like the right version of Madden, and I'm not really fond of the new version of Madden, so killing two birds. No stone involved, though. That's just too messy. Who even are you?
I am Luis Castillo, the cover athlete of the Spanish version of Madden 08. You should feel overwhelmed with guilt for your actions. You have stolen various copies of our franchise's newborn and have blamed it on the innocent.
I don't feel guilty. I did the world a favor by ridding it of all 18s, and those pesky vegans deserve to take the blame if all they like is Madden 09 and can't see why Madden 08 is the best one.
America can finally rest easy knowing the Madden 18 bandits have finally been caught. 200 copies of Madden 18 have been found in a white trash bag in the fridge of the 3rd annual Vegans Anonymous gathering. The following footage has just surfaced.
You don't know. Shut the up! Where's the f***ing 18? I'll f***ing shoot you then! Where's the f***ing talking to you? I might be wrong, but I'm f***ing dead! Huh? You will die!
I'm gonna go outside for a bit.
Want a bite?
No thanks.
What's got you down?
Madden 08 shit.
Oh, I've been there.
I mean, it's so hard, man. I know it's the best. Why doesn't anybody believe it?
Well, that's your belief, but I'm personally more of a Madden 13 guy myself.
You
But you can't expect people to believe in what you believe. What's the point of beliefs if there's only one thing people can believe?
I'm an asshole.
Lewis, I was wrong. I'm gonna make this right.
Where are you going?
Probably to jail for an undiscernible amount of time. See you later.
Self-proclaimed crook here, guys. Have at it. Didn't you hear? Madden 28 was just announced. The price of Madden 18 has dropped tenfold. I guess this means you can steal as many Madden 18s as you want. Thank you for your service. Godspeed.
This just in. Madden 28 has just been announced. Leave it to EA to make this the best Christmas yet. The Madden 18 bandits have now recently been transferred on the FBI's Most Wanted to the Who Gives a Piss section. If you see these people, please, at all costs, don't give a piss.
I'm sorry. I got carried away with the whole concept of Madden 08. It just means a lot to me. Listen, I mean, you guys like a different Madden. I'm gonna have to learn how to respect that. I won't push my belief of a great Madden onto you if you won't push it onto me.
You kidnapped and framed us!
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
I'm not gonna go for a nice restraining order right about now.
Roger that. See you later. I wanted to give you guys this.
Thanks.
F that guy.
Well, we survived the 6 days of empathy, and I have a little something that arrived at my doorstep. Oh, nice! Cool. It also came with a little invitation to something. Oh yeah, there is no way that could be misinterpreted.
I deliberately left this one out to avoid this from happening. Hey y'all, Scott here, and... yeah, welcome to New Location McGee, as she likes to be called it. Old Location McGee and I had a bit of a falling out. Well, at least we have so much more room for activities. The ambiance of this place is crazy. This is the first time I've ever experienced what charm smells like, and it smells a whole lot like piss. Hey y'all, Scott here. Oh, to buy video games right now, I have to... leave my room. Well, maybe I can learn to love video game stores again by working at one. My interview is, right now.
Hi, Chet Shaft, Game on a Shelf manager.
Hi, Scott Wozniak, Games on a Shelf employee to be.
So, what makes you want to work at Games on a Shelf?
Well, I love plastic, and discs are great too.
You know, we're really looking for somebody who's into all different types of games. Are you that kind of guy?
I don't give a piss. Didn't do much for me. But it really didn't excite me. The title never interested me. Didn't look all too entertaining. I wasn't interested. Doesn't appeal to my taste. Doesn't really appeal to me. Not super into mobile games. Way that makes me not care at all. I'm not an RPG guy, but I'm not a Xenoblade guy. So I'm not really into it all. I like the Wii.
Perfect, you're hired. Well, it's over. New store opened down the street. Some really steep competition. We just can't keep up with them.
I mean, I've had 5 people ask if we sell cigarettes. Maybe we should start taking trade-ins.
You think you know how to run a business? I know a guy with a NASA shirt, okay? I earned this job!
This is my peak. Well, after everything I've been through, I'm done. I'm not going to game stores anymore. I'll say it's because I'm protesting them, but it's really because... I'm unemployed! Hey y'all, Scott here, and man, what a perfect Madden day it is here in the year Madden 19. That's Madden lingo for 2018. Sure, some games may be better than others, but as human beings, we all share the primal instinct to pick a Madden to call our own. Everyone has one, just take a look.
Madden 2001.
Society peaked in 1988 with the release of John Madden's football.
I sure do love Madden 07.
Seriously, like, have you even lived if you've never experienced Madden 2002 on the Game Boy Advance?
Madden 09.
Madden 06 on the PS is the future.
It's all Madden, and it's another one for a reason. We all here ready to play some Madden 19, am I right?
You ain't played Madden NFL 2007, baby!
Madden 11 on Wii.
Madden 05, PETA approved.
Madden 2002 for the Nintendo GameCube.
John Madden football.
I love Madden 07 more than I love my child.
It just makes me feel all warm and culty on the inside. It's just such a great time to be talking about any retired coach or sportscaster born in 1936. talking about Madden, looking at Madden, trading in Madden. Now that I got that out of my system, let's figure out what I should talk about today. I don't know. I already talked about Sonic 2. What else is there? It's always been there. Dick Vitale. Well, I like both of those things, so why not? So this game is a little thing I like to call Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops. College hoops, slang for university basketball. Awesome baby, a phrase deriving from pure joy. But what exactly is a Dick Vitale? Apparently one of the most eccentric and beloved basketball commentators of all time. He's evolved from coach to sportscaster to jack of all trades, appearing in various films and commercials, writing books, and lending his voice to the NCAA March Madness games. Now the killer apps of Dick Vitale are his catchphrases. We have such mainstays as a diaper dandy, slam bam jam, dipsy doo dunkaroo, and any and all varieties of a phrase that even resembles "it's awesome, baby." In 1994, Time Warner Interactive struck a deal to cram as much Vitale in a Sega Genesis cartridge as humanly possible. And that's all I got from the game's Wikipedia article. Look how small this is. You could tattoo this entire thing on your foot. And before anybody asks, no, this game has no relation to College Hoops 2K8.
This is bullshit!
Well, let's take a look at the manual. Hello everybody, I'm Dick Vitale.
Oh my god, he's talking to me.
How can anybody not be turned on by College Hoops? We have a Dick Vitale Rosetta Stone in the back too. I always wondered what my neighbors meant when I heard them screaming Pine Time. The answer was always here. Play and you'll be screaming Awesome Baby with a capital A. That would look fucking stupid. The only Genesis basketball game with a 3D rotating core and Dick Vitale. Sure, some Genesis games have a 3D rotating core and some have Dick Vitale, but this one has both. I can't hold this much longer. It's finally time to find out what's been sitting on my desk for the past 2 years. This is Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops. I hate when that happens. I don't know if Dick Vitale ever made the statement, if only I was the basketball. And this isn't only Dick Vitale fans will get this Easter egg, but man, I've been trying to figure out the reason behind this for the past 15 seconds. Dick is wheeled in here, screams 11 letters in a row, and we have a title screen that delivers the heartiest out there. This title screen is great because you could crop out any portion of it and still know exactly what it's about. Oh yeah, basketball, easy. Next question. Well, let's set up a game, and you know we have to represent our buds down in Tucson, Arizona, and who better to go against than No Carolina? Playing the actual game? Yep, the back of the box doesn't lie. That is a 3D rotating court, and that is Dick Vitale. You just run around with Dick Vitale in your ears trying to get your ball in these things. I lost. No Carolina won, then who did?
Warm up the bus, baby. This one is history.
Jesus, Dick, I'm grieving. This guy's just eating a sandwich. Now, am I anal about losing or completely indifferent to it? I don't know, but personally, I think I'm on team anal for this one. Now, of course, playing basketball is only one part of the Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby experience. We also have the extra mode options. Look at this, we have a sound test. We can go through all of Dick Vitale's phrases like,
Awesome, baby.
And,
Awesome, baby.
It never gets old.
Hey man, can you drop my dad at the hospital?
I'm busy. So, Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops. You may be asking, where does this fit in on the Madden timeline? That's a good question. I'd say it fits snugly between the Madden CD and Madden 95 era. Does that make it any good? Not really. It has that awkward 3D sports game for the Sega Genesis twang, and overall this game just doesn't really hold up that What the hell? I do not know what happened there, so whatever. Let's just forget Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops and go back to playing some Madden now. Ah! All my copies of Madden away have been Vitaled.
Alright everybody, you can stop with the comments. I'm finally gonna take a look at Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops.
So Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops is what I would personally consider to be an all-time hooping classic. It's definitely the pinnacle of the Dick Vitale related Genesis games with Awesome Baby in the title.
Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops. What's all that about?
Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops has a lot of unseen and unused content in it.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of The Completionist, where today I'm going to complete Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops.
Okay, Hey, so this is just a wild shot in the dark here, but I assume this timeline has been altered, and now the only sports game you can play is Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops. It's a good thing I bought that Space-Time Continuum-proof baggie! Copy of Madden 08 and a flash drive with the NFL theme song on it. You can never be too safe. I think I was the only person not affected by this whole timeline fiasco because I was playing Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops when it all happened. There's always a loophole. Well, since I can't alter the space-time continuum myself to change it back how it used to be, I'm just gonna do what anybody who's in a world that believes that Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops is the only sports game you can play would do.
Dick Vitale is a myth. I like Dick Vitale more like I don't like Dick Vitale. I drew devil horns on him. That's how you know he's bad. The police agree with me.
This just in, a local anti-Dick Vitale nutjob decides to publicly whine about Dick Vitale, screaming such obscenities as Vince Young and EA Sports. He's being put under house arrest, and quite frankly, we're just glad this kind of lunatic is off the streets.
That guy might be onto something.
Hey all, Scott here. I've heard the request and yep, I'm finally gonna do it. Today we're gonna be taking a look at house arrest. Take a look at your nearest ankle. If you have one of these guys plastered on it, then you get it. House arrest has been a thing since the glory days, aka the 17th century. Simpler times, when you could force somebody to not leave their house without ankle jewelry. Now, I've recently been subjected to house arrest, so consider this a first impressions, not a full-on review. This blows!
Hey, we couldn't have helped but notice that you've been completely rejected by society.
Yeah, I've been trying to pull off that look lately.
Sure is crazy what a little bit of public indecency will do to somebody.
Yeah, some people are saying you're on a bit of a depression-fueled Dick Vitale protest. Here, this always helps me when I'm down.
No, I'm fine! Hey, you wanna know what depression doesn't look like?
Hey guys! Whoa, you got awesome baby college hoops? I love these things!
Alright, that is why I'm on some depression-fueled Dick Vitale protest. A few hours ago, I was living it up with the big shots. Madden 94, Madden 97, Madden 11. I had options. But now all people play is Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops. Really, who even is Dick Vitale?
Not Satan, that's for sure.
Why even is everybody so pro Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops?
Because it's awesome, baby!
Yeah!
Diaper dandy!
Woo! He's the best.
It's completely by law.
Yep, this one's for all you government officials out there. I love Dick Vitale.
He's just the perfect blend of Dick and Vitale.
Yeah, we've all been conditioned since birth to be pro awesome baby college hoops, but you still have to tell me, what's a Madden?
Alright guys, I don't think I'm from here. I think the space-time continuum was altered, and I'm from a time where Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops wasn't the only sports game you could call your own. Look, I have proof. It's a football video game franchise that releases every year that peaked in 2007. My timeline had loads of these things, all with different numbers after the word Madden.
Oh my god.
I just want people to know that there's more to life than just games based around Dick Vitale!
I have a confession. I don't really like Dick Vitale.
What's the name of that? I know it. Free speech!
This Dick Vitale has been spanked onto our brains since we were young. And quite frankly, I don't know why.
Listen, there's more to life than just one sports game. And if I can't get back to my timeline, then I'm gonna try my best to change this timeline. To prove to everybody that Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops doesn't have to be the only one we can like.
Now those are 50 words I can get behind.
We can start by changing that ringtone.
Well, if we really want to know why Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops is a thing these days, we can just go ask our supreme leader. He lives down the street.
Neat shit. I'll head out with you guys.
Wait, don't you have one of those I hate Dick Vitale and I'm proud of it bracelets on?
It's okay. They ran out of small ankle bracelets, so they had to give me an XL one. I can just slip this off right now and put it on a ceiling fan or whatever, and they'll think I'm moving around the house.
He's gone f***ing mad.
Alright, what's the plan here?
Mind wording that in a Dick Vitale context?
Yeah, as much as I want to overthrow the government and all, I still can't really understand much if it's not in the Dick Vitale genre.
I think the entrance to our leader's lair is underground in that hole over there. All we need to do is sneak past those guards.
I think I know how to distract them.
Man, I love Dick Vitale.
Same!
Yeah, it is. Holy sh**. Is that Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops?
Maybe. We better play them all to make sure. Let's go. Alright, you guys go in. I'll hang back and stay guard.
Dick Vitale.
Dick Vitale. He's good, right?
So good.
It's just so great to see people who get it. He's just
The perfect balance of Dick and Vitale.
Well, you've all won me over. What can I do for you?
You know, we do have a few Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops questions for you.
Shoot!
Why are you wearing a mask?
I mean, I'm not Dick Vitale, so why would I show my face?
Fair reasoning.
Yeah, you guys can show your faces all you want. I just don't want to go to hell.
So how did the world get so awesome, baby?
Well, I would normally lie and just say it's always been like this, but you guys seem pretty cool, talking about Dick Vitale and all. So originally, things weren't like this. Then there were a ton of other sports games besides Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops. I refused to like that. I built this time machine to travel back in time, persuade Dick Vitale to buy the patent for all video games, and force no other sports games to be created other than Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops! And also pull some strings with the government to make me the head honcho of all Dick Vitale-related activities. On top of that, make all Dick Vitale-related activities mandatory for all citizens.
Man, it's so nice knowing somebody with the means of time travel uses it to force everyone to love Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops.
Somebody had to do it. I'm also working on a bunch of new things, like this goo that turns any game you drown it in into a cyborg, and this lie detector I bought at Cracker Barrel. Anyways, I have to prepare a statement to the people tonight. Some nutjob was talking about Madden or whatever. Must have crossed over from another timeline. We'll be exterminating him soon, but I've got to tell everyone he's crazy or something. Let me just find my access code for the satellite transmission and we'll be all set. How did you get that ringtone?
Not from somebody who told me all about the wonders of Madden NFL football, that's for sure.
Alright guys, I'm sorry I have to do this, but you all know too much. We can't have people like you poisoning everyone's minds, especially with the info you know.
Hey, look, it's Dick Vitale!
Alright, I know you're lying, but I can't take a chance like that, so boom! Okay, not there. Son of a bitch!
Oh my god, what a rush. And on top of that, we're home by 9 too!
Alright, what did you guys discover?
Oh, he's
He altered the space-time continuum and put me in this f***ing abomination. I can't get it off!
Yeah, he traveled back in time to make Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops the only game we can play. And he put himself in power.
He was gonna make a statement to the people tonight over satellite, but I swiped his access code. The code is Dick Vitale.
Wow, that's the nicest felony anybody's ever committed for me. But since we have the access code now, we can tell everybody the truth. We gotta set up a camera.
Alright, what's up, virgins and virgins? I got big news for you all. Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops is not the only sports game you can play. Look at this.
What the f*** is that?!
There are more possibilities out there than just Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops. We all deserve to have an opinion, to be okay with the idea that sometimes it's okay not to like Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops. We all deserve to have options with our sports games, and the right to pick one to call our own.
And that is how you tell everybody everything they believed was a lie.
Yeah, I gotta hand it to you. You really convinced me my whole life's been a sham.
We gotta see how people are responding.
Looks like the Wii Shop channel closed early.
This is bullshit. I'm not going to let my dream be thrown away just because some straggler from another timeline wants to change all my hard work. These people need to be shown that Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops is a right, not a privilege. They need to see just how powerful this game is. They all need to be taught a lesson. Gah!
What was that?
Alright, I'm just gonna say it. I think he went too far.
You fools! You thought Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops wasn't the only sports game you can play? That's ridiculous. You've angered the Dick Vitale Awesome Baby College Hoops gods. Time Warner Interactive will smite you all. You've asked for this.
He's destroying the city with his love for Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops!
Hate to be a buzzkill, but I usually call it quits when these sorts of things happen.
So I stole that guy's whatever a teleportation base is for nothing!
Wait. This'll teleport me inside of that giant robot. He might be in there controlling it. I'm going in there to fight for the right to Madden 08. I don't know if I'm gonna survive, but if he kills me, at least I'll die fighting for what I believe in.
It's cold out there. You might wanna put on the coat.
Alright. I'll text you guys if I die.
Looking forward to it.
That stung!
Awesome, baby! Slam jam, baby!
It's gonna take a lot more than aggravated assault and battery to stop me.
Oh, what does it look like? It made out of blood to you?
You stupid, dumb, stupid Madden 08 fan. Don't you understand it's easier to conform to society than tell everyone the game called Madden 25 exists?
My neck's falling asleep.
This will be life from now on. Everything shall be awesome, baby!
No! Everything shall be centered around a yearly football game franchise by EA Sports!
Oh my god! Oh. That hurt my skin and body.
I can breathe again.
Was it worth it? Why did you do all this?
Well, I just couldn't accept that people didn't care about Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops. That was the sports game I cared about, and to see everyone talking about anything other than that, I just wanted things to go my way for once.
I didn't know blood bled that much. Listen, man, I was never into the idea of there being Madden games outside of the 8th one, but you just gotta relax. There's more to life than just Dick Vitale, and there's more to life than Madden, too. Come on, there's gotta be another sports game that you like.
Well, I guess Mario Golf Toadstool Tour is alright.
That's the one with Mario, right?
On a good day, yeah.
What's going on here, anyways?
Oh, the timeline's resetting back to what it was before I took some creative liberties with it.
Oh!
Except the explosion's gonna wipe everything caught in it from the timeline, so... Ah! Hey, I'm sorry. Maybe Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops isn't for everyone. I'm starting to see that now.
Nice observation. I wish you realized that before you turned me into a blood dispenser, but it's okay. Well, if I understand this correctly, the time machine blew up because I sacrificed Madden 08, so this is the exact same timeline from before, but now with even more no Madden 08.
Madden 2099 is the next evolution in mankind.
I bloody love the Madden 01.
It's Madden 12 for the NES.
Time spent not playing John Madden is time spent being John Sadden.
Madden 07.
But it's Madden 13 we're talking about here.
I like to wash myself off with a copy of Madden 07 on the GameCube.
You know what? I'm okay with this.
Madden 08 may be gone, but at least everybody else has options. And hey, I have all these other games to play. Like right now, I can play Jesus Christ out of all options.
Well, after sitting at this desk for 2 years talking about stupid Nintendo games and Madden 08, it's a little weird saying that one of those things is gone.
Hey Scott, it's your old pal sweepstakes winner announcery Jim here. It's my honor to tell you you've won our contest where you get to create whatever video game you desire.
I told them I wanted to make a game called Madden 08 for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 2 and all the old platforms, and they're making an HD remake of it too! Ah! Hey all, Scott here, and tonight's the big homecoming dance. Not to brag or anything, but I'm gonna get laid. Hey all, Scott here, and tonight was the big night 7 years ago. Not to brag or anything, but I wish I got laid.
Yeah, I know what time of year it is. I've been to Target. Back to school season is in full swing, as in it's no longer back to school, it's just school. That means school dances are back, everybody! A collaboration between pop music, hormones, and wasting money. The school dance is defined as the concept of dimming the lights in a school gym, hiring an underpaid DJ to play Dear God Anything But Love by Flo Rida, and forcing children to show up to a school at night and sweat for 3 hours. You'd reach for your nearest JCPenney dress shirt, pay $10 whole to stand in the school auditorium on the weekend, and assume that this was it. This was the night you totally experienced what it's like to score. And then you realized, oh yeah, I'm 15, I'll just stand and do nothing for most of the dance.
Yeah, these were great. And by great, I mean sweaty.
School dances started for me in middle school. These would be before the school football games and were labeled as casual dances. There were many looks I would go for with these dances, usually striking a balance between wearing a polo and jeans and pure fear. These weren't anything major at all, I wasn't expecting the world from these, but when high school came into the picture and dress shirts were involved, oh shit, it's happening! A few school dances were held throughout the year, but the first big one was the homecoming dance, and this was it. Homecoming week, there'd be the big school football game, a pep rally during classes, which yeah, okay, education's tossed to the side for 30 minutes dedicated to watching the marching band blow a fucking gasket in the gym. And then the Saturday night of that week, the big dance would be held, and kids would smoke and drink before and after it.
Oh, no thank you. You see, I prefer just questioning why a lot of seniors in high school were taking freshmen. What the hell was going on there? You see, a big part of homecoming was asking somebody on a date. All you had to do was grab a poster board, think of some pun, and ask them out. It was all about flashiness over function with those things. As long as you were memorable and had a pun involved, nobody cared. I personally am not really thrilled with how I spent homecoming. I felt like I was supposed to be getting a kiss or a gift card or something. I felt like I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. Instead, I usually went home early and just started to count how many copies of Premium Rush that I owned. That's why I want to throw my own homecoming dance. One that doesn't have the pressure of trying to get laid. One that's open to everybody. Pretty nice venue, right? Scored on a Labor Day sale. 14 grand instead of 15. My goal is to make the greatest homecoming dance ever with just as much no sex as I remember, but I can't do it all myself, which is why we hired a professional planner.
Sir, you won't regret your choice. With me planning, this will be the best funeral
Son
ever.
of a bitch. A great homecoming dance doesn't require just blood, sweat, and tears. Just sweat and tears. That's why I'm going to great lengths to ensure this is going to be the greatest one ever. I turned my car into a walking advertisement for the dance, and I put in place some rules to ensure no pregnancies happen tonight. There's a strict no-skin policy. If it ain't covered up, it's getting thrown out. If you don't abide by this policy, you must have flashlight taped to crotch. Yes, I spelled that right. This is to ensure things don't get too PG when the lights dim. And if things get out of hand, that's where our trusty chaperone enters the picture. He's been violently conditioned to resist all forms of alcohol, drugs, violence, and sex, and most importantly, sex.
You sure you don't want a funeral? I'm really good at funerals.
If I'm free next week, sure, but right now I want a school dance.
Alright, well I did some research, made a few calls, so I can officially say I'm legally able to plan school dances now.
Oh, legal, yes!
It really wasn't that difficult. A lot of my training carried over. Funeral, school dances, tomato, tomato.
So what's the plan here? I was thinking we could do some fun activities, like we could stand up against the wall and just wait for somebody to talk to us.
But why do so many people like school dances? The way I see it, you can't spell homecoming without alcohol poisoning.
No! I just wanted a school dance where nobody got laid. Now that we're actively endorsing everything laid related, everybody's gonna get laid. We got our new ads in. Since many high schoolers take homecoming as an excuse to get sloshed with their friends before and after the dance, this will be the first alcohol-endorsed school dance, one where you don't have to worry about the chaperone narking on your addiction. So now we're deliberately spiking everything. We're spiking the punch, the food, the ballot box. Please don't tell on us.
Oh look, here's the DJ we got.
DJ Abstinence, DJ for school kids.
Skal Wozniak, DJ Abstinence Greeter.
You will not be disappointed in my services. I made the best playlist for kids that are half my age. It's all here on my trusty laptop.
I thought that was a beer.
You just don't get it. They're just kids. It's their big night. It's their homecoming dance. Alcohol never hurt anyone.
Well, the chaperone is getting psychologically conditioned to be all for alcohol, drugs, violence, sex, and most importantly, sex. Alright, we got the DJ, advertisements are out, chaperone is being conditioned to be actively encouraging immorality, a ballot box has been spiked. Alright, all that's left is the banner! We used a pre-made restaurant template. Alright, it's time for home to come. Let's open up the doors for business tonight. Hey, welcome to homecoming. Before you go, just to let you know, you can get, as some would put it, drunk. I'm a little worried about the alcohol endorsement. That wasn't a part of my original plan, but apparently that's what people want.
Hey man, appreciate the offer. How about a Bible around here I could read?
This is a fucking disaster. I didn't want to push for sinning, and now that I am and we got the chaperone pushing for it, people don't care.
No! Oh. Sorry, man. I thought that wasn't a beer.
Man, yeah, we were pregame at the homeless shelter earlier tonight, and then we went to pick up later on the side of the road. It was great.
Well, I donated blood in the car. It was great.
Hey guys, condoms, right? Why don't you You apparently can't push for people to have a good time, and since I'm known as the resident beer pusher at this dance, I need to hide my identity with a mask so then people can be relaxed. This will ease the tension. Oh, damn it! Why did you do that? So then people are too distracted by the punch stain to realize it looks like I pissed myself.
Hey Scott, the coffin just came. Where do you want it?
Oh my god, I already told you this is a no coffin dance!
Hey, I'm just throwing it out there. I called the police to ask them if it was illegal to give beer to kids without asking for their IDs. They're gonna be out here in about 10 minutes.
Alright, homecoming's over. Take your goodie bags.
This is just a copy of Premium Rush.
Get out. Well, I got questioned by the police. I yelled at everybody. Beer was everywhere. I got home at 4 a.m. and I got fucking soaked. It was the homecoming I always wanted in high school! Hey y'all, Scott here, quick. What's the first thing you think of when you think mysterious? Mysteries, right. There are so many questions to life that are left unanswered, like, what's the point, why bother, and who cares? That's why I'm scouring the closet for answers to gaming's greatest mysteries, like, didn't Luigi say f***ing Mario Golf? Alright, we have the answer to why the Xbox One cases are the way they are, and, oh hey, check this out, it's my first fan art of Madden. Okay, and, oh. Yeah, I got invited to a dinner party by Chet Shaft. He used to be my manager when I worked at Games on a Shelf, and then I quit / ran the store out of business. I think I put this with all the other letters I don't want to deal with. You have been cordially invited to a dinner party celebrating us all making it this far in life. I knew living would get me somewhere someday. I mean, me and Chet aren't friends. We're more so he fucking hates me friends. But this dinner party seems to be an apology for lashing out at me. You think you know how to run a business? I know a guy with a NASA shirt, okay? I earned this job! I miss the lack of drama. I should probably stop by for just a bit. Now, under normal circumstances, that means no stupid Nintendo game talk. I'm gonna be a little too busy at the dinner party. But I thought ahead. I pre-recorded myself talking about gaming mysteries.
Hey y'all, Scott here.
Oh god, I sound like that? As a player of all things video games, I think it's fair to say I deserve answers. Mysteries are what keeps humanity at the edge of their seats. It's absolutely terrifying knowing you don't know something. Is the Loch Ness Monster real or was it just a fist? But with video games, these things can be so complex and have such lengthy histories to them that either some things are just left unexplained or theories and urban legends arise. These mysteries can range from, can you jump the flagpole in Super Mario Bros. To, is Luigi fucking dead? One of the most notorious urban legends in video games was with Super Mario 64 and Luigi in that game, and it wasn't whether he said f*** or not because this isn't Mario Golf. He wasn't even there. See, up until Mario 64, we've had a pretty good ratio of games with Luigi to games without Luigi. He was playable in all the mainline Marios prior to 64. And then priorities shifted and Luigi wasn't playable. He didn't appear in the game whatsoever, not even mentioned. So of course speculation started to get a little wild, and I still have my picket sign from the protests. Why wasn't Luigi in Mario 64? Was he just that well hidden in the game? Well, ever since the game launched, many fans noticed this sign in the courtyard of Peach's castle. Now, under normal circumstances, it's gibberish, but when we slide the Virgin Gogs on, we can make out that it potentially says L is real 2401.
Now, what does that mean?
No sex for me, thanks.
Many took this as a hint, proof that Luigi was real alright and he was in Mario 64 after all. So let's dissect this phrase. L is real 2401. Well, Luigi is real, and the only thing in Mario 64 with a number that high would be the number of coins in the entire game. After all, you get a star for collecting 100 coins in each level. That lends credibility to the fact there could be a reward for collecting every single coin in the whole game, and that reward would be related to the letter L. Problem is, there isn't 2,401 coins in Mario 64, so that's a problem. And as a bonus, collecting them all doesn't do anything. However, we can look into this even harder. L is real 2401 may just correlate to Paper Mario's release on the Nintendo 64. Luigi was real in that game, I saw him. And 2401 was the release date in North America. Kinda. So he didn't release on February 4th, 2001, it released on February 5th, 2001. Well, if this theory holds any truth, then Nintendo knew what the general release date of Paper Mario was gonna be back when Super Mario 64 released. That terrifies me. Why were they planning that far ahead? What were their goals? So why is L real 2401? I have no idea, and frankly, this blank is so blurry that you can come up with various other phrases it may look like. It's one of those things where since a lot of people were told it reads L is real 2401, that's what a lot of people see. I don't know what the Aka Room people's deal is. Luigi was planned for Mario 64 in a potential multiplayer mode, but was pushed off to the side. He was playable in the remake Super Mario 64 DS though. All of life's problems are solved when a character is playable in Mario 64 DS. Now, a lot of mysteries within gaming can be classified under conspiracy theories. Like, was Link dead throughout the entirety of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask?
No.
It was between this and the moon landing. I chose believing the less supported one. Majora's Mask is one dark Zelda title, and most dads would not let their daughters date this game. It's creepy, it's depressing, and many have discovered how the story of the game correlates with death, what happens before and after death, dealing with death, and many have theorized that Link himself was dead and the entire game is basically his afterlife. There are lots of theories like this in games, some of which have turned out to be true, like how Super Mario Bros. 3 was supposed to be a play. You see how it opens up with a curtain rising, various platforms cast a shadow and have bolts on them like they were constructed as part of a set. Whenever a level ends, it's almost as if Mario was running off stage. This was a fan theory for the longest time until it was actually confirmed by Shigeru Miyamoto. Now, if this was an actual play, I could sit down and watch. Who wrote this?
Oh, hey y'all, Scott Wozniak, dinner partier here.
Jeb Jeb, vegan.
Terry Lessler, veganer.
Officer Steelwool, justice supporter.
Rex Mose, school dance chaperone and historian.
Wendy's employee, Wendy's employee.
Oh, so how do you all know Chet?
He was a former vegan. Then he bought milk.
That son of a bitch!
I pulled him over for money laundering.
I'm chaperoning his dinner party.
He stole a Baconator.
That son of a bitch!
I tanked the story managed and he convinced me to quit one of the only jobs I ever had. Now I'm living off of unemployment checks in fear.
Hi, Chet Shaft, former Games on a Shelf manager, current doer of all things nothing. Welcome to the Shaft Family Estate's first annual dinner party, my largest priority at the moment. Due to some prior obligations, I can't be there with you tonight, but please feel free to help yourself to an old Shaft family recipe.
This is Jimmy John's.
But then we go from theories to just the unexplained. Parts of games that were just never understood and remained elusive for so long. In GoldenEye 007, on the very first level, players noticed a building in the distance. You can just barely see it, and rumors floated around about being able to grab a boat and make your way over there, potentially getting some rewards. But no, this area is more or less placed there for show. While the developer's original intent was exactly what fans speculated, it was scrapped and just kept there as a scene setter. If that island didn't exist, the immersion would crumble. Everybody has their happy place. They wouldn't make the t-shirts if that wasn't the case, and mine is Shiverburn Galaxy in Super Mario Galaxy 2. Such a fun level. There's fire and ice. Can't ask for much more than this. Sometimes I like to hit up to go into first-person view and look up at the mountains. Everybody has their happy place, and mine is Fleet Glide Galaxy in Super Mario Galaxy 2. These ominous figures appear in Shiverburn Galaxy if you look up in first person. 3 beings just looking at you throughout the entire level. It doesn't matter where you are, as long as you can look up at the mountains, they'll be there watching you. Now in Super Mario 3D Land, at the end of World 4-4, if you wait around, someone or something will fade in and fade out. Shiverburn Galaxy, I can sort of see these guys as a weird little thing accidentally getting thrown into the game. You know, they're ink blot tests. In 3D Land, this was a completely deliberate addition where one of the developers said, I want to make some kids shit themselves.
The Shaft family would like to express their gratitude to all attendees of the dinner party tonight. Terry Lessler and Jet, thank you for your strong acts of veganism. Carrots wouldn't be the same without you. Rick Mose, without you, I wouldn't be an alcoholic.
It's Rex!
Officer Steel Wool, thank you for your years of service. Wendy's employee, thank you for your years of service. And Scott, without you, I wouldn't have lost my job at Games on a Shelf. Thank you, everybody. Please, help yourself to a complimentary table knife and dig in. He's dead!
Alright, listen guys, I'm not one to leave the party early, but when people start getting murdered, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, somebody's been murdered. Yeah. Yeah, can you pick that up on the way home?
No, okay, we can leave. Okay, Chet said the party's over at 9. He's f***ing dead. We at least owe him this.
I'll stay. I'm free.
Listen, we can get the murder stench out of here by listening to some good old-fashioned video game mysteries.
Yeah, of course. Let's talk a series with just as many mysteries as it has dead civilians.
Somebody f***ing died!
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas has a little bit of something for everybody. Gunplay, driving, not Bigfoot. The existence of Bigfoot in San Andreas has always been a huge rumor. Apparently within the forest, you could find Bigfoot lurking around. This is also a game where ghost cars can chase after you. A developer on the game stated that Bigfoot was in there at one point, but he was told to take it out for the final release. However, there's supposedly a 10% chance of seeing Bigfoot. There's also no Bigfoot model in the game's code, so I don't know about this one.
Alright, so we all hated Chet, right?
Yeah.
He's a born-again carnivore, he's led many to unemployment, he's money laundered, he's wronged all of us. Who's to say one of us isn't the killer?
That's right. If we can't leave, we might as well find out who viciously murdered Chet.
Oh, I love puzzles.
Guys, listen, one of us may be a murderer, but we're all human at the end of the day. Let's just listen to some gaming mysteries about Luigi and call it a night.
Wasn't that the guy who said f***ing Mario Golf?
Luigi's Mansion, f***ing scary, right? It's my go-to box art to piss myself to. Well, there are a few parts of the game that have some sinister and chilling implications. Like, that is what you call a dead baby. But there was one part in the third area of the game. After a bolt of lightning strikes, we can see Luigi's shadow is hanging in the air, implying that Luigi is hanging himself. Now, was this an intentionally chilling addition to the game, or was it a glitch due to the game's camera being at an angle it's not usually used to, which accidentally pushed Luigi's shadow up higher than usual? Huh.
This is great. It's like a murder mystery with the murder and the mystery.
You're taking this pretty well, man.
Who's to say you're not the killer? You're acting pretty carefree right now for someone whose life's at stake.
It's a murder, not a tax audit. We'll be fine.
Well, what about the Wendy's employee? Nobody ever suspects the Wendy's employee.
Well, what about Steel Wool? He has a gun.
Jim has a knife.
Yeah, for fun, not for murder.
Guys, deep down, we can all be a murderer if we want. So let's just get down to the bottom of this. By a show of hands, who here murdered Chet? Damn it.
Some mysteries aren't too sinister and were just unknown aspects of games, like jumping the flagpole in Super Mario Bros. I mean, when I played this game, I would sometimes think, I'm gonna do it. And guess what? I've never been able to live that down. This game is engineered to make it hard to jump over the flagpole. I mean, it makes sense. What does anybody gain from that? Now, a famous level where you can do that is 3-3. With these platforms, it's more than possible to waste an afternoon. But the one people were always wondering about was World 1-1, the very first level. Is it possible? Yes, it is. F you, Nintendo. It's all due to a glitch here. We gotta stand on this block here and wait for the Koopa Troopa to fall down the hole. Jumping up here at the right moment will hit him. Then he'll come back and we have to follow him to the end of the level while grabbing a mushroom. Then we jump at the right moment to jump off of him to get over the flagpole. There are lots of glitches that have their own mystery behind them, like with Pokemon Red and Blue with the Pokemon Missing No, which stands for missing number. It's a glitch where the game basically has no idea what Pokemon should appear, but it's kind of taken on a life of its own. People refer to Missing No as if it's an actual Pokemon when it's just a jumble of code. Super Smash Bros. Melee's Daisy trophy has a third eye on the back of her head. I mean, I wasn't expecting that, but I'm not surprised.
Listen, maybe the murderer isn't one of us. Maybe the murderer's hiding somewhere in the building. We should split up into groups. That way, we can't all get murdered.
I like it. Feeling lucky tonight.
Okay, so if any of you die, you have to tell me, okay?
Wait, look! It looks like whoever the killer is had dark hair.
Oh, good, that narrowed it down a bit.
Final Fantasy VII features the death of Aerith. However, many rumors floated around about being able to stop that from happening and keep her in your party. You cannot. A lot of these mysteries are formed by what fans want to see, or what the game says and just never elaborates on. Street Fighter 2, Ryu says the infamous phrase, "You must defeat Shenlong to stand a chance." Now, I'm sure the localization team at the time said, oh yeah, people will like this. It really makes Ryu seem determined to win. When in reality, everybody said, Who the fuck is Shenlong? It was a mistranslation of Ryu stating, if you cannot overcome the Shoryuken, you cannot win. There was a lot of mystery surrounding who Shenlong was for the longest time, with the magazine EGM just refusing to put out the flames. They were well known for their April Fool's hoaxes, and one of them happened to be details on how to find Shenlong and some background to the character. Capcom themselves have joked about the character, fake announcing him for Street Fighter 4, and similarly, the original Mortal Kombat featured some extra code, Ermacs, and many thought Ermac was a secret character. They added him eventually.
Alrighty, so now that we're all alone, we're all friends here.
Who the fuck are you?
We're just gonna cut to the chase. Were you the murderer?
The only thing I kill is not abstinence.
So it's possible you killed him.
That's impossible. I hate murder.
So do I, but you don't see me bragging about it.
You know, that's it. I've had it. Good luck not murdering people. Murderers.
Tomb Raider was infamous for the rumor of the nude code, a secret cheat code that would make the character Lara Croft completely nude for players 13 and up. Yeah, that just doesn't work. Lara Croft was a sex symbol in gaming, and the idea of a PlayStation 1 character naked, well, who doesn't like that? The developers always teased fans about the code, making it obvious that it was very unlikely it actually existed, but never fully denying its existence either, obviously to keep people desperately wondering. It was later confirmed that a nude code never existed.
Yeah, I know I might get murdered tonight, but I don't care. Who the f*** ever thought this was real?
I died.
Bone cancer. The murderer not only killed Chet, but peer pressured Jevin to death.
He was like that when I got here.
Sonic CD features
There's a sound test option after inputting a code. When we're at the sound test, we can listen to all the sounds and music in the game, and if we select these specific options and hit start, I just wanted to listen to music. This screen is infamous and incredibly bizarre. We have 24 Sonics with a human face. Somebody wanted this. Now, of course, with the mustache, it's obvious this is supposed to be Sonic fused with Mario. The Japanese text translates to Fun is Infinite, Sega Enterprises, image by Majin. Now, Majin apparently means the devil. I knew something was up with this game. In actuality, Majin refers to Masato Nishimura, as Majin was his childhood nickname. So it's fine. The screen is fine. I mean, it's not like the screen is gonna kill me at a dinner party or anything, so it's fine.
It's a common saying.
The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past's biggest mystery for many people was the existence of the Chris Houlihan room, a room named after the winner of a Nintendo Power contest. You can get to it in a few different ways, and it's just filled with rupees. Yeah, that's cool or whatever. I want to see him in Smash Brothers as much as the next guy, but what about a secret that's not only in a Zelda game, but numerous other Nintendo games as well? Totaka's Song is a little ditty normally hidden in games composed by Kazumi Totaka. Luigi's Mansion, Mario Paint, Link's Awakening, Yoshi's Story, Mario Land 2, it's hidden in so many games. But there are a few games Totaka has worked on where it still hasn't been found. Many have thought the sound of the tennis ball hitting the racket in Wii Sports was Totaka's Song. If you play each hit together, it may sound like it, but that may be due to your brain telling you to think it's playing Totaka's Song. Weirdly enough, a game he straight up directed Wii Music apparently doesn't have Totaka's Song in there at all. I mean, it may be hiding in there, but I think we know everything Wii Music ever had to say. It has nothing to hide.
Pretty cool, right?
Ah, shit, Terry's dead.
Great. Now there's only 4 people listening.
Now there's only one thing more addictive than reading actual mysteries about video games.
Nicotine?
Reading fake mysteries about video games. The creepypasta is big here on the internet. It's all about using one of these to scare the fuck out of some kids. These are internet scary stories, and lots of them have to do with video games. They almost always have to do with some kid buying a used copy of a game and it's haunted. There's disturbing imagery and weird things happening while playing the game. What the hell are these ghost priorities?
Alright, we should just call the police already. We should just draw from a hat, figure out who's the murderer.
Yeah, I'm getting real tired of trying to figure out who the murderer is. If somebody just wants to step up and be the murderer so we can all go home, I'm all for it.
Alright, Scott, Steel Wolf, Rex, you're dead.
But while creepypastas are fake mysteries about video games, how about real-life mysteries about video games? In 2007, Madden 08 released to the masses, but weirdly enough, it got prequels each year prior. Madden 1999 released and was the first one to do so without Uncle Madden on the cover. No. This one featured an athlete, and it's been a tradition for almost every athlete who made the Madden cover to soon after get injured. This is the Madden curse, and if we're not careful enough, it'll get us too. Who would have thought Madden on your chest could lead to injuries?
Maybe there's a gas leak or something. Maybe that's why everybody's dying.
Thanks, I was talking.
Oh shit, it was you! Take off your mask, who are you? I never would have guessed!
It's time you meet your end.
Getting murdered is the least of my concerns right now. Why did you do it?
Shet deserved it. He wandered. I was too shy to mention that I was the one that killed him, so I thought it'd be easier to kill everyone.
Really? 5 homicides and that's your reason?
Make that 6.
You ever hear of the Madden curse?
Oh, my foot!
I did it. I solved the mystery.
I have seen a lot of murders in my day, and all 6 of them were today. The guys are all getting treated for murder at the hospital. They should all be fine. I'm pretty happy nothing happened to me, though. I have jury duty tomorrow, which means I can't die. If I don't show up, I'll go to prison. Hey all, Scott here, and it's that time of year, the spending season, when it's okay to splurge a little bit and say, you know what, I could use a toothbrush. Yesterday was my go-to buy Fling Smash day. The day before that was buy the rights to Socks day. Didn't pan out, lost a few grand. The day before that, I bought a few shares of Loot Crate. I should read the news more. And today, I'm gonna get my gallbladder removed just for the hell of it. I'm broke.
Hi, Scott Wozniak, bankruptcy activist.
K-Swiss, Bankruptcy Patrol.
So I was hoping you could help me out a little bit here. According to the bank, government, and wallet, I have no money.
Are you sure? Most people who claim bankruptcy have a forgotten gift card or something.
I was actually going to ask you to see if you could check my account and see if I left an Arby's card there or something.
I don't know what to tell you, man. You're completely broke.
Oh my god, I don't know how this could have happened.
Really? You don't know why you're broke? You brought your entire stack of Fling Smash.
Never leave the house without it.
Never?
It's a bitch.
No one man needs this much Fling Smash. And why are they all wet?
You don't get it, do you? Bankruptcy is just a hobby of mine. I'll quit it tomorrow and buy at the bank to replenish my funds.
You don't have any money to buy the bank out with.
Can you give me a loan too?
This is great. Right before Christmas too. Is bankruptcy a crime now? Is it illegal to be worthless? Well, if it is, I'm f***ed. Now, I did come to an agreement with the bank.
Do you accept war bonds?
Listen, I'll make you a deal. Do you want the bank to take every one of your possessions?
Would you take my crippling debt?
No.
Thank God, no.
We have to do charity work every year. If you can do 50 hours of charitable work in the name of the bank, we can help you out.
Oh man, I love charity work. That's the first time I've ever said that.
Doing charity work is all I need to do to go from bankruptcy to struggling, and helping out the less fortunate is what I'm best at. I've not killed my fair share of bed bugs. I always look out for the little guys. So I just have to pick out a charity to benefit, which is tough. There's so many. There's the Kill All Bedbugs Association. They would not like me. Justice for Squirt, bringing awareness to America's 98th most popular soft drink. No, I hate politics. Oh, the Foundation for Recent Murderees, a charity benefiting those who have recently been murdered. That's a great cause. Death is the most common cause for death, so to bring awareness to that and to help those who have recently died should be more than enough for charity work. Well, with the Christmas season approaching, I definitely want to give those who are less fortunate gifts. The problem is, I have nothing. Nothing at all. I have to come up with something that's affordable beyond belief, but gives off the illusion of significance. Wait. What was the value of Connected Ventures? F***ing worthless! That's it! This cost me a nickel. Video games are some of the priciest forms of entertainment out there. Most releases, 60 bucks a pop. You know how much house you could buy with that? I'm not telling you, ask a realtor. Games are expensive, there's no getting around that, which is why every single title enters the circle of life. See, we started 60 bucks when the game initially releases. That's fun, people love a good joke. But see, when people buy the game brand new and beat it all and have nothing else to do in the title, how are they gonna fund the next game they wanna buy? Well, they could work for money. You can sell that game and then use that money to buy new game. So sell your $60 game for $40 after you're done with it. Some sap will buy your used copy for $50. That sap sells their $50 game for $30. The fucking moron who bought that game sells it for $15. The idiot who buys that game for $15 sells it for $5. And then the me who buys it for $5 is pretty much stuck with it because why would I sell it? To use a phone booth? Many games maintain their value for years, sometimes even increasing in price if there's a high enough demand, but what about the games that just plummet in value? The games that rot on a game store shelf for years. Nobody buys them. Ever. And as time goes on, more and more copies pile up because nobody wants these games. They're completely worthless. The price keeps going down until it reaches rock bottom, and even then nobody wants it. This, my friends, is the bargain bin game. Games that just refuse to sell. At all. Like smallpox sells more than Battleborn. Piles of these games crowd used game store shelves, all for dirt cheap. 3 bones, 2 bones, 1 bones, 50 cents, sometimes even pennies. But why aren't people buying these games? Those are some crazy prices. Like, come on, these are in fact video games. Being able to pick one up for the price of integrity, well, that's a steal. Well, allow me to dissect what it takes to be a bargain bin game with the 4 categories of the dollar bin. You think you have what it takes to be fucking worthless? Take notes from the pros. Games that are pretty much unplayable in their current state, whether that means a game that was online multiplayer only and said online multiplayer has either been shut down for years or nobody's playing it, or the game is Glee Karaoke Revolution Volume 3. Yeah, I was surprised too when I pulled this off the shelf and saw the price.
What?
Well, when you do some critical thinking, it does make some sense. Pretty much any game that requires a peripheral and is sold with just the game, they are pretty much all in the dollar below crowd. DJ Hero, Band Hero, karaoke games, dance pad games. I mean, many of these titles, you pop them in, they're giving you the stink eye. Yeah, Scott, where the hell is your SingStar microphone? There are the games that require toys to scan in. Disney Infinity, Skylanders, Lego Dimensions. I mean, what are you gonna do without the toys? Yeah, that's what I thought. Now, the dance pad games, you can usually play with a controller, but look me in the eye and tell me you want this. Now, a few games maintain their value even without their accessories. Some of the Guitar Heroes are still fairly pricey, but that's because people miss Guitar Hero. Now, why is Band Hero only 99 cents in comparison? Because nobody misses Band Hero. What the hell is the difference? You play in a band in Guitar Hero too. These are games that are fundamentally paperweights in their current form. Stores like GameStop have to accept them as trade-ins because, well, they are games. But nobody was buying Starlink with the toys. What makes you think somebody wants it without? So, worthless equals games that are missing accessories that sort of make these games playable, or online-only games that do not work anymore. Games that are constantly getting new versions every single year. When the latest FIFA comes out, last year's becomes completely irrelevant. And if you think FIFA 19 is worthless now, where does that put FIFA 15? You mainly see this with the sports games. FIFA, MLB, NBA, PGA, NFL, ABBA. You may ask, what's the point of spending $60 on the new versions when last year's and the year before that and the year before that featured games that were pretty much the same but with a few differences? To answer that question, I will answer this question. What's the meaning of life? I don't know. Some yearly titles do maintain value, even some sports games do. I've been jonesing for a complete Madden 08 collection, but the PSP and Mac versions are somewhat pricey. I made some mock-up copies to get a good idea of what it will be like to actually be happy. Games that everybody owned for a while there, but now, nobody cares anymore. Games that were fads or games that were bundled in with consoles or controllers. Like, pretty much every PlayStation Move owner got Sports Champions with it. Does that mean every PlayStation Move owner didn't sell the game? I don't even think any PlayStation Move owner still owns a PlayStation Move. The Sega Superstars Tennis Xbox Live Arcade Combo Pack, yeah. These were included with a ton of Xbox 360s, which meant a metric 70% of Xbox 360 owners didn't want the games because GameStops are made of these games. Peel off the wallpaper, you'll find them. Now, of course, there's also the fad titles, games that nobody wants to play anymore because nobody wants to play them anymore. Connect Games and Wii Party games. Like, I don't even think the developers want these. Yeah, these are just bad. Games that nobody wants because they're just not good. Some of these games immediately hit the bargain bins within a year or two of release. Anthem, Knowledge is Power, That's You. Look at these price points. They're pathetic. Games that not only rot on the store shelves when they're used and years old, but games that do so when they're brand new. Stores could never get rid of these things no matter how hard they tried. They're legitimately, it's just nobody who really wants these things. Its bargain bin titles can be pretty much anything, but those 4 categories are the most common reasons they're the undesirables. When somebody trades in one of these games at a GameStop, they're fundamentally sending these games off to die. Nobody buys these, and if they do, half the time they harvest these copies for their cases to use on games they actually care about. But that doesn't mean there isn't inherent value to some of these games. Truth or Lies without the microphone, that's oddly enough better than Truth or Lies with the microphone. It's completely unplayable in this state. I mean, the Naked Brothers band for $1. Come on, these opening animations alone are worth admission. And hey, buying a video game for so cheap, that's fun. It's like adopting a child that's older than you. Like, this shouldn't happen, but hey, it's a cool story to tell. I got a game for 50 cents. And what better gift is there than video games? These things were expensive at some point in time. Name better press than giving murder victims Battleborn. I should really do something big for these guys. I'll throw a charity gala. I just need to find a way to fund it. Can I take out a loan?
What the f is wrong with you?
I'll just sell something. The only question is, what? I could sell Ridge Racer 6. That's not f***ing happening. I'll never sell my copy. I'm broke, not stupid. Well, I'll just look up how much debit cards sell for. Alright. Welcome to Scott's Charity Gala for Recent Murderies, a place where we address certain problems in this world with kindness.
Not ready yet. This is gonna be the greatest charity event of all time, and I'm not just saying that to ensure the bank doesn't repossess my items.
Listen, man, we need some great press. This event needs to be stellar. We want to see some happy murder victims.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. I got a secret weapon. Spree flavored candy canes. Cashier told me it would be a hit. I may have banked too much on this. All right, food, spree, presents. I think we're ready. Welcome, murderees, to the first centennial charity gala for recent murder victims.
I knew it was a good idea getting murdered.
Oh yeah, we all went to that dinner party together, got murdered, got treated for it. How was all that?
Well, have you ever died?
Not personally, but I'll get around to it eventually. This is great. I know these guys. We all went to Chet Chef's dinner party. Great food, ended in murder. But everybody was diagnosed with murder except for me. These guys got treated, and look at them now. But that's the thing. They all survived, and they all already like me. So I just have to make sure they rave about this gala. So I'm just gonna try to sweeten the deal for all of them. Terry and Jeb, vegans. I laced their meat with tofu. Rex Mose, school dance chaperone. I color coordinated all the things that aren't beer so he knows what he should and shouldn't eliminate. Wendy's employee, Wendy's employee. I heckled some Arby's drive-thrus before I came here. I didn't even know he was coming tonight. It works out perfectly. Listen, these guys have seen it all. It must have been hell to go through the recovery process after being murdered, but it'll all be worth it after they get their gifts. Hey, there's my favorite murder victims.
Hear that? We're his favorites.
How are you guys liking the gala so far?
I hate it. Reminds me when I got murdered.
How?
That.
What am I supposed to call you guys?
I'm a big proponent of the term hospital junkies.
Well, I'm more of a fan of the term charity messiah.
What are you talking about? That describes no one in this room.
What's wrong with him?
Oh, you see, well, he's simply bludgeoned to death, but at the hospital, the doctors wrongfully diagnosed him as a burn victim.
Can't you just take them off?
Not if he wants to recover.
Well, I think it's a good time to make my speech. The holiday season is one of the greatest yet most stressful times of the year, whether it's because of money problems or getting murdered. It's easy to forget the true purpose of Christmas time. It's to set aside our differences and enjoy the company of each other, to express gratitude and empathy to those truly special in your life and to those in need, regardless of any differences that separate us all. This event is in support of the Foundation of Recent Murderees. My colleagues, Terry Lessler, Jeb, Rex Mose, and Wendy's employee, were all recently murdered and are now in recovery. I truly cannot think of a greater pain to endure. Maybe gout. I propose a toast. This event had a single sponsor, being Ice Mountain Mini Bottled Water. When you're thirsty but not that thirsty, Ice Mountain Mini Bottled Water available now. So please, raise an ounce. To you. Merry Christmas. Jesus, that tastes small. So to end things off, to make your insufferable pain more fun, I got you all gifts.
Is it a cure for 0-degree burns?
Oh, even better. Listen, take them, open them up, and let me know when you guys forget that you were totally murdered a few months back.
What is this?
We got American Idol on PS2. It's $2.99, of course it blew. Karaoke revolution with no microphone, that might be fun. DJ band and guitar hero, just the games, price point zero. Games are games, ignore the fuss. FIFA there and everywhere. 99 cents, that's not even fair. Skylanders, it was just a phase. I turned these copies into a maze. Lego Dimensions that really exists? I guarantee you, it was a miss. Games that are the anti-ass. Just take paddleboard and use swine. Play it before it goes offline. Madden 16, 17, 18. Not as good as 08, pretty blatantly. But who cares? It's at a great price. Presents that'll make anybody say nice. Gifts with value and some class. It's a bargain in Christmas. Yeah.
What the f***? Pretty cool, right? Those are games. Video games. And I gave you like 50 of them.
Yeah, but these are terrible.
I feel like I've been murdered all over again.
Is this even legal?
Guys, I'm sorry. I just didn't have enough money for gifts. That's all I could have done.
Oh, you didn't have enough money for actual presents, but you had enough money for that sign?
Honestly, I've had that in my trunk for years.
What even is this?
That's NBA Live 14.
Well, knowing that makes this present worse.
I've been murdered far too many times to accept Lego Dimensions for Christmas.
And what am I to do with all these Maddens? 25, 15, 16, 08?
You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!
Whoa, alright, we weren't the ones who just give out trash for Christmas.
Well, excuse me for loving bankruptcy. I'm only doing this to get out of the hole.
What? You're only doing this for the money?
And you gave us Battleborn?
I'm sorry, okay? Listen, let me try to make it up to you. Terry, Jeb, have a burger.
We're vegan.
Yeah, I know, no cheese.
Listen, just stop, okay?
What's going on?
Oh god, he's been drinking too many of the Ice Mountain mini bottles. He's way overhydrated.
Somebody give him some sand!
Try to do something nice for them, and they blast me for it. They hate me. The charity event's gonna bomb. The bank's gonna take all my stuff.
Scott.
What?
Scott.
Sounds like Chet Shaft.
It is I, the ghost of Christmas Shaft.
Chet, everybody else who was murdered at the dinner party recovered. You were murdered, and you
Were murdered. I just died.
Oh man, you're a ghost. You can answer this. Would it be vegetarian to eat a ghost cow?
What kind of question is that?
So picture this, right? Standard cow, kill it, eat it, the American dream. But like if a ghost cow appeared before me like you are right now and I harvested it for its ghost meat, like I'm eating a cow, but I didn't kill a living thing to eat that cow. So what would it be?
I've only been dead for a few months. I'm not a professional ghost yet. I just do it on the weekends.
Well, why are you here?
Because I'm a ghost and you need help. Let's talk.
Seriously? This is my work to him? Connected Ventures? I'm a Wendy's employee, for God's sakes.
Yeah, you know, I'm sick of people assuming I want NHL 16. Like, stop!
Guys, look at this. What am I supposed to do with this?
Actually, I could sell this to my Rock Band 2 guy. He loves stuff like this.
You know, actually, I could really use a new copy of Truth or Lies. Mine got worn out.
And you know, I could use another emergency copy of Connected Ventures.
Oh my god. There's a Wii Play!
I tried to be nice to them. I got them all that stuff, and they just acted like I was treating them like garbage.
Well, you did get them Battleborn.
I just really need them to like me and what I did, and now I'll have nothing.
See, that's the problem. You weren't doing a lot of that stuff out of the goodness of your heart. You were doing it because it benefited you. Most people can see right through insincerity.
Not me. I invest in Ponzi schemes when I'm bored.
They obviously saw that you bought them those games because they were worthless. You treated them like they were worth band helium. Band helium?
But I did so much for them. I sold my desk to fund the gala.
Follow me.
You know, after trading these games around, pretty happy with this.
Yeah, I'd rather die than be caught with Battleborn, but Connected Ventures, on the other hand, this just saved me buying my 4th copy.
Maybe we were a little hard on him.
To be fair, guys, he did give us Battleborn.
And what the hell is this? Spree? What the f***?
Just right this way.
God, I hate yards.
The desk you sold is here now.
Why is the desk an address?
It has a new owner. That's just how he uses it.
He's feeding it tea. Why is he playing tea with the desk?
That's just what he wants to use it for.
Well, yeah, but it's a desk.
The point is, look how happy he is. Giving up your desk to fund an event for those in need and having it go to someone who will love it just as much as you did, you should be proud of that.
You know, even if we didn't like some of these gifts, we found some we did like. And just because some of these are worthless to somebody, it doesn't mean someone else won't find value in them.
That's a good point. Like, I hate organized crime, but that doesn't mean I want to ruin their fun.
You know, he left a receipt here. It looks like he sold his desk to fund this.
What the f***?
You know, I didn't have a desk for 12 years, and look where I am. Murdered.
I haven't shaved in 12 years.
You shaved when you were 10?
Seriously, no desk? What kind of freak has no desk?
A freak who's willing to give it up to give others something nice.
Yeah, like these Ice Mountain mini waters. Tastes like a fresh puddle.
I don't know. They already hate me. What's the point?
Hey, Scott, let you know, man, just listen sometimes. You gotta do things to make it all right, man, regardless of how hard they just make it be.
I don't know who the f that is, but thanks.
Listen, guys.
That's Mr. Guys to you.
I'm sorry. I treated you all like you were worthless, and that's just not the case. Sure, I started doing this to get out of bankruptcy, but I realized there's so much more to this than just what benefits me.
Well, we want to apologize also. We should be more grateful for what we were given, and we were way too harsh at first. And to be quite honest, this copy of Connect Adventures really hits the spot.
Yeah, and I needed some firewood, and, you know, Skylander Supercharged is just that.
I didn't know what I was doing on Tuesday, but now I know.
And DJ Hero 2 makes a pretty mean plate.
We know how much you went through to make all this for us, so we wanted to get you this.
Madden 08 on the Mac!
And this.
Madden 08 on the PSP!
And this.
The 08 collection for the PC!
And this.
No, I'm good. Oh my god, I finally have all the Madden 08s!
Scott, sound like you did good, man. You did good, bro.
Vince Young!
You really did it. Keep up the great work, man. We all proud of you, man.
Yes, of course. You're so much smaller than I expected you to be.
Is he okay?
You might be dehydrated. I know just the trick.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work, bro.
It's missing a leg. It's close enough.
So, tell me where it all began.
Alright. So, tell me where it all began.
Alright. Hi, my name is Scott, and I'm not an alcoholic.
My name isn't Scott, and this isn't an AA meeting.
Oh, thank God. I always hated those. I always felt out of place. I wish they would make it more accessible to non-alcoholics.
You're stalling.
I'm sitting.
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
I'm paying you.
With a coupon.
You don't know what it's like to go to therapy.
Hey, I got a life outside of this job. I go to therapy twice a week.
You're a therapist. Where do you go to therapy?
The mirror.
Alright, fine. It all started at my desk. Hey y'all, Scott here.
So is this the first time you introduce yourself like that, or is this a reoccurring thing?
Pretty much every week. Say, do you want me to play 3 of Nintendo's worst games of all time to end up wasting thousands of dollars in therapy?
That was some incredible foresight.
I plan my year ahead of time.
Picture this. Making bad games. It's like making bad water. It's almost impossible. But some people just can't help themselves. Almost every video game company has stumbled at some point, whether they had to rush a title out for release or just weren't focused enough during development. Mistakes happen, and one bad or misguided game doesn't mean an entire studio's talentless or doomed. Just because Sega made one oopsie doesn't mean they'll make another one anytime soon. Bad example, but regardless of how many stinkers are put out each and every year, people will always hold certain developers and publishers in the highest regards. These studios can never make a bad game. They always push for quality, they always care about their products, and you will never be disappointed in what they make. One of these companies is Nintendo, a developer and publisher widely believed to put out nothing but quality titles.
I finally figured out what this statement is!
Listen, I love this company. Nintendo is my favorite game studio of all time. I love most of their games, their developers, their philosophies, their style, their history. They are, to me, the most interesting player in the video game industry. And their level of quality since their inception has yet to be matched. It's simply astonishing how time and time again they've been able to create so many experiences that are considered genre-defining, and consistently at that. From the original Super Mario Bros. In 1985 to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild in 2017, they've been the studio to look up to. But there's sort of a misconception to many that Nintendo doesn't make bad games. The idea many push that Nintendo always puts the most quality possible into each and every game they release. They never rush things. They never go for quick cash grabs. That is hilarious. Will you be here all week? I love this company, but I'm more than willing to point out their shortcomings, and one year I felt that harder than any other year. 2015. This was during the Wii U and Nintendo 3DS era, the anti-renaissance. Definitely not their strongest in terms of sales and revenue, and Nintendo's handheld business has always been their most successful, and while the 3DS was doing well, it wasn't nearly as big of a breakout hit as the Nintendo DS or Game Boy line of systems. And then there was the Wii U, also known as what? Yeah, that wasn't doing all too hot, so Nintendo decided, f it, let's give up. Up until this point, investors were dogging on the company quite a bit to put their titles on smartphones. Their idea was, Angry Birds is doing it, why not Starfy? But Nintendo was always stern about keeping their games on their devices, especially considering mobile gaming was a threat to dedicated handhelds like the 3DS. However, in March of 2015, the company officially announced that Sinning was on the schedule. It just made sense to develop mobile games. At this time, the 3DS was mostly appealing to just core fans, and the Wii U appealed to just me. Nintendo's brand wasn't as widely recognizable as it could be in this era, so they decided, let's make a shitty Mario Kart game for smartphones in 2019. But did the switch to mobile games mean Nintendo was going to put an end to console development? God no! Because they announced development of a future console at the same time, the Nintendo NX. So that meant in 2015, not only were Wii U and 3DS titles being developed, but mobile and NX games as well. Nintendo was obviously being stretched a bit thin here. The Nintendo NX wasn't going to be released until March of 2017, but they were feverishly working on it in the background to ensure this doesn't happen again. But they still had to put out Wii U and 3DS games, and with some of their titles getting delayed a bit from a 2015 launch, they had to scramble. They had to whip up games that reused old assets, had little content to them, or were just ungodly simple so they could have products to sell that year. This went on from 2015 to 2016, low quality spin-offs that barely anybody wanted, or games that showed promise that ended up completely under-delivering. I'd say 2016 had less going on, just overall the amount of titles released wasn't that high and the quality wasn't much higher. But this problem started the year prior. It was weird because 2015 no doubt had some great games developed and or published by Nintendo. Splatoon, Super Mario Maker, Yoshi's Woolly World, Xenoblade Chronicles X, but we also had Devil's Third, Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, Mario Party 10, Mario vs. Donkey Kong Tipping Stars, Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, Little Battler's Experience, Amiibo Tap, The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes, Codename Steam, all getting anywhere from mixed to negative reception from critics and fans alike. The Triforce Heroes and Happy Home Designer were okay in my opinion. Devil's Third had its moments, and I always put Mario Party 10 on the shelf like this. I never want to see those three words together ever again. These games, while not terrible, just didn't have the same level of quality as what I came to expect from Nintendo. They all felt a bit soulless in one way or another. Like, these weren't made because, oh, we want to do this. Instead, more like, oh, we need a Zelda game this year. However, there were 3 games released in 2015 I believe to be nearly irredeemable, some of the biggest mistakes Nintendo's ever made, games I consider to make up the dark age of Nintendo.
Big deal.
That is the best thing a therapist could say to me.
You shouldn't let the products of a multi-billion-dollar children's company affect your mental health.
You don't understand. I have to play most Luigi-based products. Well, I think it's a good time to practice anything but sobriety, so let's take a look at 3 of Nintendo's worst games of all time, which, weirdly enough, all released within 2 months of each other. First one we should tackle is Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, The Rise of the Machines. Touch an amiibo? So a little backstory. Animal Crossing. One of the most comfortable gaming experiences in the county. It's just life. You collect stuff to get money to pay off your loan to buy more stuff. It's depressing. This is what life is. Why do I like this? Truth be told, I am far from being one of the bigger Animal Crossing fans out there. It's not that I don't like the series, far from it. I just haven't played each entry to death like many others have. But the games I have played are so relaxing and cozy. They're just fun to boot up, run a few little errands, turn it off, and depress for the rest of the day. There was a bit of criticism directed towards the series for a while there, though. See, it initially released on the Nintendo 64 in Japan only. That version made its way to the GameCube worldwide with a few extra enhancements, but it was still the same game at heart. Then when Wild World came to the DS, many noted it was pretty similar to the GameCube one with a few enhancements added. City Folk released on the Wii and it was pretty similar to the DS one with a few enhancements added. Where were the changes? Go back! These games kept adding onto each other, but not enough for some to be all too thrilled. But then New Leaf for the 3DS came out, and it changed up enough to be a breath of fresh air for everybody. You were the mayor of your town, you could change so much about your village. It's the one thing Animal Crossing needed, and they finally did it. Government intervention! New Leaf was a tremendous success, and all signs were pointing to the next iteration of Animal Crossing releasing on Wii U around 2015. I mean, it had to happen. Right? I mean, in 2013, Nintendo released this app called Animal Crossing Plaza on the system. It was all these characters in HD, and you could create Miiverse posts about them for others around the world to read. Considering this free app was made so 3DS owners who played New Leaf could talk about the game only on Wii U, a platform that did not have an Animal Crossing game, was only available for a year until it was discontinued and can no longer be accessed.
I smell pointless.
It was by all accounts the Miiverse Plaza, that thing that appears when you boot up your Wii U, showing all these Miis and what people are saying about different games. It was that, but for Animal Crossing characters. Like, you could say, oh fuck, I love this guy's pants! And then others could respond with, why am I on this app? I think the main takeaway from this thing was that Nintendo produced all these HD quality models of the Animal Crossing characters. I think it was pretty evident that this was a test when it came to developing an HD game in the series. However, nothing initially came of this. New Leaf kept selling, Animal Crossing Plaza kept not getting used, and all was right with the world. But then in 2014, Nintendo announced and released Amiibo figures with NFC chips in their base that allowed you to scan them into supported games via the Wii U gamepad and eventually the 3DS to play with the character or unlock extra goodies. It launched with Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and was a tremendous success, mainly because they released Amiibo of all characters. Smash Bros. Is a crossover of every series under the sun, so everybody was interested in the line to some extent. This meant in the following year, Nintendo would lean heavily into Satan's plastic. More lines of Amiibo like Super Mario, Splatoon, Yoshi's Woolly World were all put out and did very well, but the actual use of these things in games was always non-essential. In Smash Bros., you could scan a figure to fight it, raise it, and level it up as your own little Smash Bros. Prodigy. That was pretty much the furthest they ever went with implementing it. Mario Party 10, you'd use them in Amiibo Party mode where you scan an Amiibo to roll the dice. Yoshi's Woolly World and Mario Maker, you could scan a bunch of different ones to get costumes, which was awesome, but not all Amiibo were supported in every game. It was kind of up in the air which Amiibo would be supported in which games. So I think we were all expecting a game to be released that took full advantage of Amiibo, a game that couldn't exist without it.
We should have known better.
But in the back of everybody's mind, we were also thinking another thing. New Animal Crossing game for Wii U? With Animal Crossing Amiibo support. It was so perfect, it just had to happen! Animal Crossing was a game so focused on collecting in hundreds of different characters, introducing figures, that just made a ton of sense. Well, Nintendo jumped on this fairly quickly. In April of 2015, we got Animal Crossing Amiibo cards announced alongside a spin-off title for 3DS, Happy Home Designer. This was a sign. They were building up to a Wii U game. I could smell it, and Happy Home Designer would interact with it somehow. They weren't pulling a fast one on me. I eat virginity for breakfast. I get these things. E3 2015 came around. Guess what leaked beforehand? Boom! Animal Crossing Amiibo figures. It was happening. Nintendo's E3 2015 digital event kicked off. Halfway through, a Happy Home Designer trailer played, then those glorious words world premiere flew up on screen. It cuts to a Wii U gamepad. Holy shit. And an Animal Crossing figure gets scanned onto it. Holy shit! Animal Crossing's on Wii U. I called it. I called it!
So you got incredibly depressed over the announcement of a game in a series that you aren't even a huge fan of to begin with in the first place.
That's right.
Who the fuck is this guy?
On your left, you will see no doubt one of the worst and tone-deaf video game announcements of all time. You can't tell me somebody at Nintendo didn't realize what opening a trailer with this shot insinuates. Nobody goes, oh my god, an Animal Crossing board game? Because that's what it was, a party game that used Amiibo figures to roll the dice. Nearly everybody was disappointed and confused, but while this wasn't what I wanted in the slightest, I had higher hopes than I think some did. And the idea of an Animal Crossing party game wasn't bad. That's all it had going for it. The idea wasn't bad. Because my god, not only was this game's announcement a disappointment, the gameplay shown? What is this? Later on at E3, tidbits about why the game existed were coming out, one of them being how the developers just wanted a reason for Animal Crossing Amiibo to exist.
I can think of worse reasons for the apocalypse.
Another one, albeit this was just a Nintendo of America employee kinda just talking up the game a bit on the E3 Treehouse stream, was that they said it was nice to have an Animal Crossing game that didn't require reading to enjoy. Most of this game is text. Suffice to say, Amiibo Festival was not received well. It just sort of got announced and then released later that November. Nothing really came out about the game until a Nintendo Direct in November highlighted it. A day before it released, there was a rumor floating around about the game being a free download and you'd just need to buy an Animal Crossing figure to experience it.
$60 that I spent!
So this is Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. It comes in this box with 2 Amiibo figures and 3 Amiibo cards in this nice little envelope. Now apparently Digby here was only available for a limited time. Future releases of the bundle wouldn't include him. If only the game sold well enough to warrant them doing that. Amiibo Festival bombed. Stores are still putting it out on clearance to this very day. Like I said, the original plan was to phase Digby out of the bundle, but that never happened because I think stores are still trying to sell the initial batch of the game from 2015. Well, there are other Animal Crossing Amiibo that launched alongside it, so I might as well nab a few to get the full experience. I didn't even try and I own nearly all of them. All I did was go to Five Below, a GameStop, and a quick dabble on eBay, and here we are. Under $60 later, I own pretty much all of these except for Rover, Celeste, and Summer Isabel. These figures also rot in clearance bins, and Nintendo definitely expected them to fly off the shelves like the Smash Bros. Line did, but they didn't understand that 1. That line appealed to everybody because it included dozens of different game franchises. Animal Crossing, while incredibly popular, only appeals to Animal Crossing fans. And 2. Nobody wanted figures that were only useful in a bad game. So you can pretty much find all of these for dirt cheap. I mean, I know I did. 5 bones a piece at Five Below, where garbage goes to die. I picked up 2 packs of Animal Crossing Amiibo cards as well. These did far better sales-wise. They got up to 4 different series released. I assume it's because collecting hundreds of Animal Crossing cards is a lot more fun and addicting than buying one figure. So opening these up, I got Shirt Wolf, Spunk Rat, Unemployed Mouse, Insomnia Duck, Better Than Me Gazelle, Bride of an Aardvark, Self-Conscious Dog, Ye Old Lion, Hair Duck, Sex Frog, Kyle, and Mammal. Alright, so now I own multiple Animal Crossing Amiibo cards, I have nearly all of the Animal Crossing Amiibo figures, and the game is officially in my Wii U. And then... it happened.
The gout?
No. Virginity. Alright, tap an Amiibo on the Wii U gamepad. Let's go with Spunk Rat. It's gonna be one of those games, isn't it? This is an Amiibo, why can't I enter? Alright, fine, we'll try Clearance Otter. If you ever wanted an otter on clearance, buy a Lottie Amiibo. Tapping a figure brings us to the plaza. Our main option here is the board game. Well, I couldn't possibly play Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival by myself. What do I look like, a fucking loser? I at least need to play Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival with one other person.
Oh! No! No! I'm not playing it! No! No!
I'm telling the story in past tense. I am forwarding this message to everybody in my contacts list. If you stop by tonight, we can play... Gex.
Did not take you as a Gex fan.
I'm not. I knew you were lying, and I'll do anything not Gex related.
Even Amiibo Festival?
Yeah.
Is it Gex night? I've been waiting for this for years.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Gex!
So we enter the world of Gex by tapping our Amiibo in and on with the board game. Now we have 12 boards to choose from all the months throughout the year. Honestly, it's a great idea in terms of transitioning the series into a board game. It's all about life and the time of year translating over to the game. You can still find positives in hell. We get the rules explained to us and this is gonna take an hour and a half to finish.
Do we really have enough stamina to last that long? I haven't eaten since yesterday 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I know Gex, an hour and a half is really lowballing it.
Okay, we'll buy some food. Alright, what do you guys want? I only have enough money for one thing we can all share.
Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I'm starving. I couldn't care less right now.
Alright. I'll take 1 corn dog.
You went to Sonic?
Not just that, I ate there.
You should have came sooner.
So when you have some players to play a real-life video game with, before you start a game, you need to make sure you and your team are nourished. This is going to take a whole lot of effort and time, and the last thing you want anybody to do during a game of Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival is leave to do something else. When commitment is your middle name, it's time to play. Scan your Amiibo when it's your turn and lift it to roll the dice. Move the spaces given. You want to gain happy points and bells. Land on spaces that either make you happy or give you money. Some spaces only do one or the other or both, but some spaces take away one or the other or both. Every space you land on, you get a little story play out that explains why you gained happy points and or bells or why you lost them. I have never meant anything more in my life than what I'm about to say. Cute, I guess. Sometimes events happen where characters show up, and if you land on a certain space, they may give you an item to use. These items are all sorts of basic cards that let you move whatever amount of spaces you want. They're f***ing fun! Joan appears every now and then and sells you turnips. You buy a bunch and then the market does the talking. Each space then has a different selling price for your turnip, so it's up to you to decide when it's time to sell your stock. Investment's a core part of the game. Again, great for people who can't read. And that's Amiibo Festival. When every player takes a turn moving, the next day starts and you repeat until the month is over. Your bells are converted to happy points at the end and are added to your overall total, and whoever has the most happy points wins. Now you can set a time limit so the game ends after a certain period rather than lasting an hour and a half, but that's not the Amiibo Festival way, damn it. Rev up your endurance glands because we're in this for the long haul.
He's a gecko with sunglasses!
So yes, we constantly have to scan our Amiibo to roll the dice each and every time. Is it strategic? Is the dice roll slow to compensate for the fact it has to read a chip in the figurine? Is scanning an amiibo to roll dice fun? Don't quote me on this. But no, if you want to play with up to 4 players but you only have 1 to 3 amiibo, the remaining players can play as a human villager and all they have to do is hit A. Come on, that's no fair! Using an amiibo to do this is clunky and annoying primarily because you constantly have to do it. Other games that support amiibo, it's a one and done. You scan it and then you set the figure down. Here you constantly have to, and it is grating mainly because I know there's a beautiful little button that can roll the dice for me and then some right there. It's even programmed into the game! But I have to keep scanning something I bought at Five Below. But here's what I really don't like. After you scan, you then have to use the stick and A button to confirm which direction you want to go in when you reach different path options. One of my biggest pet peeves in games, specifically on the Wii U, is when they force you to use the controller in a way that makes you reposition your hands when it is completely unnecessary. Paper Mario Color Splash on the Wii U did this. Its default control scheme had you pick cards to play with the touchscreen, then force you to quickly shift your hands back to the buttons to time your actions properly. I ended up switching to the all-button control scheme because sure, there are more steps required with this than with the advanced touch controls option, but here, I don't need to reposition my hands constantly. In Amiibo Festival, I have to scan the figure, use the buttons, sometimes I'm forced to use the touchscreen for no damn reason. If the developers just had to absolutely force you to scan the Amiibo to roll the dice, why not have the rest of the controls on the touchscreen? And that way you can leave the gamepad on a table without it being sort of kind of awkward to use when picking a direction. Like, why not be able to select the direction to go in on the touchscreen? Oh, that's right, you can't because the emotion buttons are on the touchscreen. Yes! The game had some weird consistency issues when it comes to what's exclusively on the gamepad screen and what's not. There's really nothing that ever happens where I think, oh man, I want to hide what I'm looking at from the other players. Also, we all just use one gamepad, pass it around like a corn dog. It just makes things unnecessarily cumbersome. The game itself reeks of Mario Party. I mean, happy points are basically stars and bells are coins. Of course, more coins mean more of a chance to get a star in Mario Party, which is what you're really after, and it's no different with Amiibo Festival. The difference is, most Mario Parties have a minigame play after each player rolls their dice and move. That adds an element of skill. You want to do good at the minigames to get more coins to get more stars. After everybody rolls an Amiibo Festival, you roll again! There's no minigames, no nothing! This game is just constantly rolling the dice and moving around the board. Sure, you have the element of the fucking onions. I guess you have to strategize when's the right time to sell them. And no, even that's total luck. You can't strategize landing on a space where you can sell them for a fortune. It's all up to the dice roll. But Scott, you may say, what? You can get special cards that give you the ability to move a specific amount of spaces. Yeah, sure, but if you even get the opportunity to get a card like that, completely random. If you get the number of spaces you'd actually need in the future, completely random. It's all luck. You build up your bells for 45 minutes all for a damn owl to bump into you and take half your money. The most strategy you can put into this game is doing a trick when scanning your amiibo.
Now that, badass.
I mean, if Amiibo Festival nails anything, it's the ambiance of Animal Crossing. Every space you land on tells you the story of what happened to your character that day. It's all well written, I guess, but keep in mind, there is way too much dialogue for this being a party game. I have multiple people in the room, Katie. You don't need to explain your purpose each and every time somebody runs into you. Presentation-wise, like, yeah, it's still Animal Crossing. It looks okay, but it just kind of feels like they barfed New Leaf in HD without all too much care put into it. It's fine, it does the job, but the board's design, my God. So yes, each board is each month in the year, but they're barely any different. The season changes, but that doesn't make any of them feel all too distinct. There are events that happen based on the month, like holidays or birthdays, but I will maintain, every board feels the damn same. Here's a quiz for you. Which board is June and which board is July? They're both August. You level up your character after every game and save that data to the amiibo. Thank God I get something out of this. Leveling up with your happy points unlocks new costumes. You know, now this game has purpose. And that's the board game, but you just wait because we have so much more to this. 8 minigames, in fact. All of which are exclusively playable with amiibo cards. You cannot use figures. Is there any reason why I can't use the amiibo cards in the board game and amiibo figures in the minigames?
Man, you really haven't played Gex before, have you?
So we basically have to grind in this game for a couple hours to unlock everything. We have Balloon Island, where we scan in an amiibo card and lift it up to drop our character at the right time to get the most points. I will say, this is an instance where scanning the cards makes this a bit more interesting. You have to take the delay into account. I think it would be way more interesting if different characters had different characteristics to how they drop, so there's more of a strategy when picking your card, but overall, this would be a bit weird without the cards.
It's weird with the cards.
Acorn Chase. We have to maneuver this garden, picking up all the acorns by scanning one of the 3 cards you pick to go in different directions before you get mauled. It's fine. Rossetti Bob, so it's whack-a-mole mixed with rock, paper, scissors. Finally, somebody did it. All the amiibo cards have either rock, paper, or scissors on them, so you scan them in, and when you see a Rossetti with rock under it and you are definitely paper, scan your card, nothing else matters in the world. It can get pretty crazy, although an easy way to cheese it is if you scan in all characters with the same thing, that way it's not nearly as confusing. Mystery campers! We scan in 6 cards and have to try to guess which 4 of your characters are in the tents and which order they're in. This one's honestly incredibly simple, but kind of fun. It really makes you think critically. Every time you scan in 4, it tells you how many were correct and if you were close with some of your picks. It's pretty satisfying to figure it all out considering all your previous choices. Speaking of thinking critically, the Animal Crossing Quiz Show, the perfect game to play with people who don't know Animal Crossing all too well. What is this? Amiibo card battle. You pick cards to play and there are definitely outcomes. I don't get this one. Desert Island Escape. This is the most game this game gets. It's not that bad. You pick 3 characters and you have to survive on an island long enough and find materials to escape before time runs out. You just have to strategize where to move and if certain things are worth risking. It's nothing amazing, but it's probably the most value you'll get out of Amiibo Festival.
And that was Amiibo Festival, Gex, but we played the entirety of what it had to offer.
Didn't we forget the Fruit Path game?
Get the f out of my house.
So Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival is generally considered the lowest point of the Animal Crossing franchise. It is, but I think what stings the most is the fact that it didn't need to be. Of course, best case scenario, it would be an actual real-life Animal Crossing for the Wii U, but an Animal Crossing party game had so much potential. The core concept here is fantastic. Taking elements from Animal Crossing and turning them into a board game, having the boards be different months, holidays as different events that happen, but they didn't do anything interesting with these concepts. ND Cube made this game, and they developed the modern Mario Party and Wii Party games, and by God, I just don't think they know how to balance a game's content or design boards for party games. They always try to give as many options as possible to give the illusion of a ton of content with tons of modes or minigames, but everything is so bare bones, it doesn't matter. It would have been better if they found a way to mesh all the content in here together. That way it could have been at least a little more interesting. Amiibo Festival by far is the worst game they've ever developed. But it's not ungodly terrible. It's bad, no doubt, but some of the extra minigames aren't the worst, and the board game can be fun if you want to overact about everything happening. However, that mode is overly long with nothing of value ever happening. The control scheme is completely unnecessary, and with each amiibo costing around $13 a pop at launch, you were spending well over $100 when this game released to play with multiple characters and access the other minigames. The concept's great, the execution is abysmal. However, I can't say it's the worst thing ever. There are glimpses of hope in the package here and there. So, it's not terrible, it's just awful.
Well, I think overall you're experiencing post-game syndrome. It should wear off between the next day or two. I'm surprised it only took you 1 game to get this shaken.
Well, actually, I'm here because it was more so a barrage of bad Nintendo games I played. First, it was Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. Next, it was Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. Okay, bye.
You're a therapy machine. You're gonna therapize good tonight. You're gonna be the best therapist a therapist will ever ask for. You're gonna do great.
So I was thinking we could tackle Ultra Smash next. This game left me traumatized.
Who gave you my address?
Really
Why are you here? What the?
So just wait, let's go one at a time. You first.
What the f are you doing here in my house?
Okay, fair question. Now it's my turn. I was hoping we could bang out some more therapy. You are a therapist. I'm traumatized. It all works out.
I can't give you therapy right now. It's daytime. I'm a night therapist.
Don't my credits transfer over?
Listen, I didn't become a therapist to hear you vent about Amiibo Festival.
Amiibo Festival?
I'm not registered to give advice about that.
Well, then are you a registered therapist at all?
So, tell me about that dumb f***ing tennis game that hurt your feelings.
I don't know. I feel like you're only talking to me now so then I don't tell anybody you're not registered to be a therapist. I feel like I almost have to pay you to listen to me.
So it's therapy.
Yeah, it's pretty much therapy. After Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, I decided it was time to move on to smaller and worse things. I was at my desk again. Hey y'all, Scott here.
Yes!
What?
Oh, before every therapy session I make predictions. I nailed that one. I'm really good at reading people. Just like, you're not pregnant.
How did you know?
Oh, I just kind of get this stuff. They call me the human pregnancy test in high school.
Well, I'm still on a quest to play through 3 of Nintendo's worst games of all time. I just finished up Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival and my eyes can no longer feel joy, so let's check more body parts off the list with Mario Tennis Ultra Smash.
Okay, so what was this game's deal? Was it good?
What do you think?
Based on the information, it's hard to tell. What is an Ultra Smash? Is it a move in the game? Is it the game itself? Or is it just two words that have no business being together at all?
Yes. Mario Tennis, one of the greatest series of games Nintendo's ever produced.
Somebody's probably said that before.
The Mario Pyramid showcases the series' growth from simple beginnings to fucking everything. The character of Mario is so understandable to the masses. You look at him and go, yeah, I'm comfortable. Everybody's played a Mario game and know they're all about running and jumping and ending the sentence there. They're games people who don't enjoy games can at least get, and with Mario being such a basic mascot character, you can throw him into all kinds of settings and it would still make sense. Does he have a PhD?
No doubt!
Can he be a chef?
Yeah.
Has he renewed his hunting license?
Hopefully.
He's a jack of all trades, and Nintendo usually puts him into so many different genres because he's such a good gateway character. If you weren't necessarily interested in a turn-based strategy game, well, if they put Mario into it, it automatically feels a bit safer to try. It won't bite. When I see Mario on a cover to a game, I think simple, wacky, but well thought out fun, and that's no more obvious than with the Mario sports games. Ever since the NES, Nintendo's been cramming Mario into sports titles, starting with golf. That's our Mario. He looks more like an Uncle Tony than a Super Mario, but apparently that's him. As time went on, Mario started appearing in more of these games, whether they were starring roles or just cameos, but when Super Mario Kart released, I'm sure Nintendo realized the Mario brand was too lucrative to limit him to just a simple cameo in these games. You gotta theme the entire thing around him. So in 1995, the first Mario sports game completely based on and named after the brand was released, Mario's Tennis on the Virtual Boy. It's his tennis. Released as a pack-in for the system, it was a Mario-themed tennis game. Am I allowed to be disappointed? With a title like this, I'm not sure what I was expecting, but probably a little bit more. It was basic tennis, and it does that well enough, but when you put Mario in the name, I'm expecting something more wacky, or more cartoony, or more fun. Well, Scott, do I have a surprise for me? 1999 rolls around and the Mario Golf series is formally introduced on Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color, with Mario Tennis getting a shot at redemption on the exact same systems 1 year later. The Nintendo 64 Mario sports titles were fun and simple sports games you could crack out at a party and have a blast with. You could enjoy them as just sports titles, but they added the charm of the Mario world, characters, stages, items. These were games that brought together sports and Mario fans, or even attracted those who weren't necessarily into either one. There are a ton of people who don't care for sports, but love a good Mario sports game. The Game Boy Color versions were vastly different and were more so RPGs. You control characters who were dear god anything but Mario and tried to become the golf or tennis masters. You could even connect the handheld games to the N64 ones to unlock things. They had some cool ideas back then before the idea of a Mario sports game became so concrete. Now, when Nintendo moved on to their next console, the GameCube, Mario Sports truly hit the next level. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour and Mario Power Tennis, these were amazing upgrades, better in pretty much every way to their predecessors. While Mario Tennis was still quite a fun time on N64, Power Tennis added so much in terms of characters, different courts with all kinds of Mario-themed gimmicks, special modes. It was incredible. Companion titles for the Game Boy Advance release that continued the RPG lineage of the Game Boy Color games, and back on the GameCube, we got two new sports series as well, baseball and soccer. Yeah, Mario's sports titles were some of the go-to multiplayer party games. They were incredibly popular, so when the next system rolled around,
They really just sort of disappeared for a while.
You really are the human pregnancy test. The Wii and Nintendo DS. You see, these systems were tailor-made for sports games. The Wii had a sports game bundled in with it. They both had control schemes that screamed, put a Mario sports game on me. And what did Nintendo do? They got Square Enix to make a basketball game for the DS.
Why wouldn't they?
Made sequels to Baseball and Strikers on the Wii. Mario Power Tennis got re-released in widescreen with motion controls and nothing else. And Mario Sports Mix, yay. So why did Mario Golf skip this console? Why did they just port over an old Mario Tennis? Why did the DS get only one sports game? The lack of titles on the Wii may be because many consumers already had Wii Sports, and most of the sports included in the package have been Mario Sports games in the past. To be fair, I wanted Mario Super Sluggers when it came out, but I initially passed on it because I went, well, I have baseball and Wii Sports, what's the point? Maybe Nintendo thought consumers wouldn't care for a new Mario Golf or Mario Tennis if they already had free alternatives that came with the console? But see, that's dumb logic. Sports games sold like crazy on this system. If anything, people loved Wii Bowling and Golf so much they'd immediately buy garbage bowling and golf games just because they wanted more of it. Now, why the DS had barely any sports games, I don't know, but I mean, it had pack picks, don't be greedy. Maybe Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games had something to do with it. Oh, we don't need to make new Mario sports games, Mario and Sonic will do the trick. But those were just sports minigame collections. They had charm, no doubt, but a collection of dozens of sports isn't gonna have the same amount of quality as a game that focused solely on one sport. Yeah, I'd say Mario Sports Mix was where the decline truly started to happen. It's not a bad game, but with it being 4 sports in one, with each not feeling nearly as in-depth as they should be, it just doesn't have the same quality as something like Power Tennis or Toadstool Tour or Strikers or Super Sluggers. After Sports Mix, we got Mario Tennis Open on the Nintendo 3DS.
We did?
Yeah, this is an often forgotten one. It's not bad. I mean, it was Mario Tennis for Christ's sake. How could it be? It was just lacking in overall personality and ways to spice up the series. It just kind of felt like tennis with Mario flair and not much more, or at least that's what most reviewers said. It's an alright game. I'd take this in comparison to a lobotomy most days.
Something better than a lobotomy?
Most days.
It's just not too enthralling. Now, if we take a look at Mario Power Tennis, so much character is injected into this one. Look at all the courts, all the gimmicks, all the cutscenes, all the love. All of this was something that was slowly but surely disappearing from the sports games, and instead of feeling like the developers were trying to make the most out of what a Mario sports game could be by throwing in as many references and characters as possible, it felt like they were just doing this for a paycheck. This was also the first Mario Tennis game on a handheld that didn't go for an RPG style. That's fine, I mean, those were cool games, but I understand when you hear Mario Tennis, you probably think about the Nintendo 64 and GameCube versions first. But it just kind of shows that instead of doing something different or interesting, they'd rather just do exactly what you'd expect from a game called Mario Tennis. Thankfully, Mario Golf World Tour released for the 3DS 2 years later, and this was a great time. So many different courses and modes, the gameplay mechanics were fun, understandable, but had depth. I think the problem with Mario Tennis Open was that it was simplifying an already simple game. They took out the special character moves you could pull off from Power Tennis and instead have these chance shots on the ground. They were just glowing spots where if you perform the shot the game tells you to pull off while standing near it, you'll pull off a more powerful hit. But in the end, that just means the game is all about following the glowy spot and doing the move it tells you to do. The power shots had so much character and were tons of fun to watch and pull off, and for them to be gutted like this, it makes Mario Tennis less about Mario and way more about tennis. See, out of all the 4 major sports series, tennis is definitely my least favorite. Not because it's bad, but it's just the most basic playing sport after being turned into a video game. Go over here, hit the ball, go over here, hit the ball, go over here, hit the ball. At least Mario Tennis on the Nintendo 64 and Power Tennis on the GameCube didn't try to simplify the game. If you wanted simple tennis, there were more than enough tennis games out there for you. Mario Tennis was for people who wanted a wackier take on the sport, but there was still depth here. You needed to be skillful to beat your opponent. Open's chance shots just made the game mindless. You didn't outsmart the other player by going over to the glowing spot. Don't lie, if you were fucking Luigi playing tennis and the ground started glowing, you'd go over to it, but you wouldn't feel accomplished, you just followed the glow!
Okay, so after the GameCube, Mario Sports titles' quality was definitely declining. Sure, there wasn't really a terrible one at this point, but they were a lot more hit or miss than they used to be. Camelot Software Planning were the developers of both the Mario Golf and Mario Tennis series ever since the Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color. They've made every game in both franchises since that point, whether they were the multiplayer party games on console or the RPGs on the handhelds. And they truly had a lot of talent. And just looking at their games on the GameCube, they were obviously very proud of those games, with amazing opening cutscenes that were more so 5-minute long comedy shorts. They had great rosters of characters, fantastic modes, and they're still fun today. But by the year 2015, when Mario sports games were sort of in the gutter, what did they do? Well, they weren't ones to go against the grain.
Mario Tennis Ultra Smash was the first time I've ever used the term Mario Tennis Ultra Smash is bad. As you can see, the lineage of Mario sports titles up until this point somewhat started to degrade in quality, so when E3 2015 rolled around, I think we were all hoping for a new Mario sports game that was a return to form. It's been a while since we've seen Mario Strikers or Mario Baseball. Those would be fun to see again. Or a Mario Golf on a home console. We haven't gotten one of those since the GameCube. Or, hey, maybe a new Mario sport like football or horseback riding. During Nintendo's E3 2015 digital event, after revealing Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, as you would if you wanted to watch the world burn, Nintendo showcased a few more trailers, revealing Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, and immediately afterwards, with no hesitation, no time to breathe, they just started a trailer for a new Mario Tennis game. Hell yes, I am completely indifferent to Mario Tennis!
So this is just Alfredo Party.
Amiibo Festival.
This already wasn't a series you liked.
That's right, it was a series I tolerated.
So what does it matter to you if this game got announced or turned out to be bad? Even if it was the greatest tennis game of all time, you still probably wouldn't care about it.
That's not true. I wouldn't probably not care about it. I just wouldn't care about it.
Why does Nintendo love Mario Tennis so much? I'm sure the Wii didn't get its own game, but it at least got a re-release of the GameCube one. Then we got Open on the 3DS, Ultra Smash on Wii U, then tennis was included as one of the 5 sports in Mario Sports Superstars on 3DS in 2017, including horseback riding, thank fuck. And then with no hesitation, a new Mario Tennis game after that. Like, guys, I know this series has the fabled fan who thinks Mario Tennis is the greatest series Nintendo's ever made out there somewhere.
Oh, we'll find them.
But in my opinion, it's the least interesting sport of the bunch. And even if it was the most interesting, why not give the other sports more attention? It just boggles my mind. Well, this new Mario Tennis game was revealed and it looked fantastic. Look at the character models, the lighting, the colors, it all looked gorgeous. It was like they took the graphics of Mario Kart 8 and made a tennis game out of them. Why would you do that? I don't know, but look at the grass. It looked great. Visually. Gameplay-wise, yep, that sure is a Mario Tennis. There was this Mega Mushroom power-up showcased where characters would grow, get this, big, giants playing tennis. Well, that's interesting, I guess. What else does this game have? A title. What kind of subtitle is Ultra Smash? What does that mean? It just feels like they went to an auto title generator and it came up with this. Whatever. Okay, it's releasing holiday of 2015. They obviously want to save a bunch of stuff about this game to reveal later. This obviously isn't the entire game. The game was playable on the E3 show floor, and my god, that is old artwork of Peach. Looking at the gameplay, it was just tennis.
Yeah, it's a tennis game. Well, what were you expecting?
You don't understand. It was just tennis.
Oh my god.
It looked like a very barren HD version of Mario Tennis Open, chance shots and all. Temporary box art for the game was revealed, and I still have nightmares about this. I know this was just to give retailers something to put up on their Mario Tennis Ultra Smash product pages until the true box art was finished, but back in 2015, I was a bit concerned this was actually going to be the final box art. I was more concerned about that than if the game was going to be good. That was about it for Ultra Smash until October 2015. We got a trailer labeled, "Look Who's on the Court." That could mean anything! It was less than a minute long and announced characters that were pretty much always playable in Mario Tennis games: Boo, Daisy, Waluigi. I think the most concerning thing about this trailer was after 4 months of nothing on this game, this was all they had to show us, and it was releasing in a month. We also didn't see any new courts. It was just the same basic one from E3, but the material of the court could be changed. Huh. Well, 2 days later, another trailer was released, the Love All trailer. This one introducing the tagline of "Play Tennis with Super Mario Powers." They had me at this game having a tagline. So this was an overview trailer showing off all the modes. Hopefully this isn't all the modes. What, there's tennis, big tennis, online tennis, boring tennis? Because this trailer fully confirmed there are no unique courts in the game. It's just the same stadium with different textures on the floor. Yikes. Well, at least at this point the game got actual box art, and the release date was November 20th, 1 week after Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. I fucking hate calendars. A couple of hidden characters were revealed, previews started to come out. I was holding out hope this game was hiding something. Even when the Nintendo Direct in November 2015 came out and Mario Tennis Ultra Smash was highlighted, this was a week before it was releasing, and I was still praying this wasn't all the game was. This looked exactly like it did back at E3. Back when it had a reason to be bare bones. It was a demo, and the first time we saw the game. Didn't even leave the unlockable characters locked when showcasing the thing. They had no shame with showing everything this game was, and most importantly, what it wasn't.
So November 20th rolled around, and you bought the game? You bought the game?
Actually, no, not at all.
You're making great progress.
This was 5 years ago. 2015, I started a bit of a tradition. If a Nintendo published Wii U game released, I would buy it. I think I did this out of love for the company and a desire to support them during this era. But see, after Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival released just 1 week earlier, seeing how absolutely barren Ultra Smash was and evaluating its price tag of $50 US, I picked it up, about to buy it, and said, no, I'm not supporting this. I could at least understand Amiibo Festival's $60 price tag. It came with Amiibo figures and cards. It wasn't worth much at all, but the price tag was a bit more justified. Ultra Smash wasn't a full $60, but that doesn't mean it's worth $50. I held back on this game for a while. I didn't want to support Nintendo rushing out games that were overpriced and lacking in content just to fill their holiday lineup. So I told that video game company, they ain't seeing a dime from me. They may be a multi-billion-dollar Japanese corporation, but let that be a lesson to them. I ain't giving them any of my business when it comes to $50 tennis games. Now when I see it on sale for $25 2 years later, then I'll bite. Look at this box art. I'll give the game this. It looks good. The layout's nice. Luigi. Unleash your jump shots to take the advantage. God, the marketing people were trying with this game. This blurb is like if a dictionary had harnessed the power of words on the back. Yeah, it's always a good sign when the age rating doesn't have anything to say about the game. No comic mischief, cartoon violence, or sexual content like Mario Power Tennis. The fact Amiibo Festival is racier than Ultra Smash, I don't know what to make of that. The disc, yeah, they just plastered random characters all around it and called it a day.
Oh no. No, not the disc art.
That was the one thing I thought they couldn't ruin.
And they f***ed it. Nintendo f***ed it just like they f*** our bands of friends.
Amiibo Festival.
I don't care.
Well, this is it. Game I refuse to buy and play because of the principle of it all. You know, if I really wanted to be a hypocrite, I could just enjoy an RPG, but that's not gonna happen. This is Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. Could you tell? Remember Mario Tennis on the Nintendo 64? It had that cute little opening cutscene. Remember Mario Tennis on the Game Boy Color? It had a fun little cinematic. Remember Mario Power Tennis on the GameCube? It had an Oscar-worthy opening short film. Remember Mario Tennis Power Tour on the Game Boy Advance? It had an intense little opening for a handheld game. Remember Mario Tennis Open for the Nintendo 3DS? It had a lame opening, but an opening regardless. Remember Mario Tennis Ultra Smash? It had nothing. So we enter into the main menu. It's honestly pretty bland, but pretty slick. I like how when you hover over an option, a video plays in the box. It's simple, but it's decently attractive. It feels like a huge display at a sports game. Now, is there another page of options? Are there modes I can unlock? Is there more to this?
What have I been bitching about the past 17 minutes?
This is all Mario Tennis Ultra Smash has to offer. 5 modes. That's not an immediate problem. A lack of modes doesn't automatically mean a lack of quality. Maybe these are very in-depth modes with a ton of variety and replay value. What if they made the most out of the limited options and made something truly special? What if they did that? Do you think they did that?
What have I been bitching about the past 18 minutes?
Alright, so let's start off with the first option available. Mega Battle. So we choose between whether we want to play singles or doubles. Nice options. I'd be concerned if a tennis game didn't have them. And alright, nice character select screen. All of this is old art. Every single one of these character profiles are years old, some of them over 10 years old from this game's release, and I have no idea why they had to rip art from ass-old games. Just looking at the disc art, they created new renders of tons of these characters specifically for Ultra Smash. Why did they feel the need to reuse old renders, even when characters like Peach, Daisy, and Rosalina aren't in their tennis outfits in the renders when they are in the game? Oh my god, look, we have 4 unlockable characters grayed out. Who could they be? Listen, I know that silhouette anywhere. I can't believe they added Grover Cleveland. Next, we get to pick the type of court. You know, these 3 words are also nice, but I think hard's the way to go. Then we get to pick which type of control and camera setup we want. Do we want the score on the gamepad? Do we want the game copied to the gamepad? Maybe even reverse view or dynamic?
Mario Tennis Ultra Smash is overwhelming me. Yeah, I was starting to get a little sarcastic.
But there was a reverse view.
Let's just go with copy, and here's a loading screen. Oh, it's not loading. We could have just hit A this entire time. Look how quickly the A button appears here. Like, it doesn't even load anything. You'd think this is a loading screen, but all this basically is just a tip and trick you're forced to skip. Is there any point to the screen? And here's the game. Surprised?
Yeah, I just realized this is a tennis game.
You just realized?
This was my first time playing. It's meant to be played with multiple people. I think that calls for more people to play with. I just have to try to sweeten the deal to try and get them over here. I am forwarding this message to everybody on my contacts list. If you come over tonight, I will inform you how your uncle just died. Did not take you as somebody who had an uncle.
I don't. I just couldn't believe my uncle died again.
What if I told you your uncle didn't die and you can celebrate by playing tennis?
If there's one thing I hated more than my uncle, it's tennis.
What's wrong with tennis?
I don't know. I just never thought I was big enough to play. Like, if I could grow comically big while playing tennis, I'd give it a chance.
Well, do I have an Ultra Smash for you?
Yeah, as long as it's not Gex, I'm in.
Oh, is it Gex Night? I love Gex Night.
Didn't you get my message about your uncle dying?
He died for the 3rd time?
Yeah, let's fire up Gex.
Fucking lizard Gex. Oh my god, oh, so if you were a Gex fan, you get that.
Mega Battle, we just played tennis, and a toad will randomly throw a Mega Mushroom onto the court, touch it, and that's a fun cutscene. I hope they play it every time somebody touches a Mega Mushroom. Oh, joy! So this is a mode where you have one power-up thrown onto the court and you can grow big. Of course, your shots are more powerful now, which makes it incredibly unfair when you're up against somebody without a Mega Mushroom. But then when you get a Mega Mushroom, when the other person has a Mega Mushroom, then this is basically the same as a regular match. When it's just 2 giants going up against each other, you don't really feel the power of being a giant. You both are at equal power levels. It's not interesting. With Mega Battle, the same thing always happens. You play normal tennis, and then a toad throws a Mega Mushroom onto one of your sides. If you had to fight for the Mega Mushroom, that would be one thing, but no, they just throw it on whoever side they feel like that day. And it's pretty much never out of your way to grab it. You get it, the exact same cutscene plays every time and pauses the action. If there were like a couple of different animations per character, I still wouldn't like the fact the cutscene interrupts everything, but at least it would be more understandable. No, each character only has 1 Mega Mushroom cutscene and it plays every time. You can't disable it, you can't skip it, you have to watch it, and then you're big. Good for you. Now your shots are more powerful and it's easier for you to hit the ball back because you're so much bigger. Obviously, why wouldn't you go for the Mega Mushroom? I get that sometimes the mushroom may be out of the way for you to grab it if the ball is heading in the opposite direction, but this thing stays on the court for so long. There is not a ton of urgency to grab it immediately. So basically, when somebody gets big, it's now completely unfair. The other person is incredibly tiny, but then Toad will throw them a Mega Mushroom, and then they grow big, cutscene and all. So now you have two people who are just large for no reason. What's the point if everybody has a power-up? It's not a power-up at that point. Eventually, your power-up will run out, so now we're back to somebody having an unfair advantage until their power-up runs out, and then you get a Mega Mushroom thrown at you again, and the cycle repeats. The Toads almost always throw you the Mega Mushroom in the exact same pattern every time. You get it, then your opponent gets it about 30 seconds later, yours runs out, and your opponent still has it for a bit until theirs runs out, and then you get a Mega Mushroom again. It constantly repeats. Now, if your opponent hits your body with the ball, then you lose your power-up. You're telling me they had nothing for this rating? But, yep, that's Mega Battle. It's just regular tennis with a power-up that honestly adds absolutely nothing but a dumb selling point to the box. It's just so worthless. Like, the Toad just throws you a Mega Mushroom and that's it! If you had a meter where you had to keep a rally going, or you had to pull off some skillful shot or something, and it fills up, and then you get a Mega Mushroom, then that would be one thing. Or if it was just pure chaos and Toad would throw Mega Mushrooms randomly, like every 2 seconds, and it wasn't balanced in the slightest. I mean, this already isn't balanced well, but if it was more random, I could at least appreciate it in a bullshit insane way. But no, it's just the same thing over and over again. All you do is grow big and you quickly realize it's just a part of this pattern of growing big, opponent grows big, you go back to normal, they go back to normal, and it just repeats. Growing large isn't interesting because it's basically an automatic win button. If you're large and your opponent's not, you are going to beat them. Outside of growing large, the game is, it's just tennis! You just use different buttons for different types of shots, but honestly, just hitting whatever button you want does the trick. Sure, performing different shots at the right moments is what skillful players do, which is why we don't. If you see the glowing chance shot spots returning from Mario Tennis Open, just go right over to it and perform the button action it tells you to perform. Basically, you either mash a random button when the ball gets over to you, or you just waddle over to the glowy points and hit the button the game tells you to hit. Every now and then you do these jump shots if the ball's over your head if you hit A, B, or Y twice. Every now and then, if the other player messes up their shot, you'll get a different glow spot and it'll let you do an Ultra Smash, which is just a very powerful jump shot that immediately means you won. But it's not like a crazy amazing looking thing, it's just bam. Wow, an Ultra Smash. You should name a game after that. I mean, it controls well enough. There's nothing inherently wrong with the game at its core, but it's just not fun. It's just boring. The gameplay loop isn't enjoyable. The things that adds to the Mario Tennis series are jump shots and Mega Battle. Has God seen this? But it's okay, we have 4 other modes to try out here. Next up is Mega Ball Rally. We have to try to maintain a rally for as long as humanly possible. See, the Mega comes from how big the ball is, and it gets smaller and smaller as the rally goes on, so it gets trickier. The ball comes from the fact we're using a ball, and the rally comes from the fact this is a rally. I don't understand when you're playing against a computer and they end up doing a giant ass shot on you. Why are you doing that? We're rallying the ball with each other. We have the same goal. No Mega Mushrooms in this mode. Which is why we have to move on to Knockout Challenge. Amiibo. We pick ourselves a character and play Mega Battle against another opponent. Hey, wait a second. Yep, this is just a single-player oriented version of Mega Battle. It's for true Mega Battle Gex fans only. Go up against an opponent, beat them, go up against another one, beat them, go up against another one.
And then what?
I don't remember. It's just a never-ending endurance mode until you lose against somebody. Basically, this game's excuse for a single-player offering. Of course, the farther you go, the more coins you get. That's right, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash has an economy.
And Mega Battle.
Now, you can use an amiibo figure in this mode as your partner. For some reason, you can't just have another player play with you or a standard CPU. It has to be an amiibo. So, crack out your Animal Crossing amiibo, try scanning them, realize the game only works with certain Mario amiibo, sulk, enter your pockets, scan amiibo. With that being said, the gold Mario amiibo works and gives you a gold Mario in the game. Now, Silver Mario doesn't give you a Silver Mario, obviously, f*** 'em. You must train your amiibo. It will level up the more you play with it, and you can teach it some certain skills. See, I like this concept, but it's ripped off directly from Super Smash Bros. Smash for Wii U and 3DS allowed you to scan an amiibo to fight with or against it to train it to fight like you. But see, Smash Bros. Is a pretty deep game. Everybody has a different fighting style of their own, so that makes sense. Training my Bowser Jr. to play tennis just like me, that doesn't. Nobody has a certain playstyle in Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. It's literally all just mashing a button when a glowy spot appears. Playing with an amiibo doesn't feel like I have an understudy, it just feels like I'm playing with a computer. Which is exactly what I'm doing. Well, that's Knockout Challenge. It's just Mega Battle.
It is.
Moving on to Classic Tennis. This is tennis without the Mega Mushrooms.
Alright, you know what? That's the last fucking straw. Alright, I don't fucking need this. Alright, you, this, and tennis!
Classic Tennis gives us 2 options, Simple Mode or Standard Mode. Those are synonyms. Well, Standard has the stinky-ass chance and jump shots where you have the glow things you just run around to. Simple is just tennis. You just hit the ball back and forth. So basically, Standard Mode is Mega Battle.
Yeah?
Without the Mega Mushrooms.
you.
And simple mode is more strategic and skillful, but boring in its own special way. Well, we can play online. We have access to singles or doubles. We can play for fun if we're f***ing f***sies, or play a serious match. We can play standard tennis or mega battle.
This game gets me.
We can even bring our amiibo online to play alongside us. And now all we have to do is find a match.
Wait. Gex's online wasn't this bad. What the f*** is this game? I f***ing had it. F*** you. F*** this. And f*** tennis!
So online you can only play against random people and not friends, so that means we are completely dependent on who's playing this right now at this exact moment. You ever feel special that you're the only one playing Ultra Smash Online? Of course you don't, because I'm the only one playing Ultra Smash Online. The game's trailers heavily suggested you could play with friends. The term play together online kind of implies you can play with friends. Well, what about this little eyesore right here? Well, this is the achievements and store section. You gotta have a store with an economy. We have 25 things to unlock by doing certain things. You know how old NES games would be notoriously hard, so then you'd be forced to play it longer even though the game had like barely much content to it at all? That's a neat quirk of Ultra Smash. It brings that back. We have to win against 15 opponents in a row in Knockout Challenge with every starting character. That is nearly 200 matches you have to win. And what do you get for doing that? The star version of that character. What's the star version of that character? I don't know. They look the exact same, they just have a tiny star in their portrait. After looking it up, a star character is a more powerful version of that original character. That's kinda dumb. I know that's something that's not new to Mario Tennis, but still, it's kinda dumb. But we can unlock more characters: Bowser Jr., Dry Bowser, Sprixie Princess, Cleveland. Cleveland and Sprixie are new to Mario Tennis, joining Rosalina, who's also new on the starting roster. I really like Rosalina in this game, how she floats around. I don't know if that was just a lucky decision to make, so they didn't have to animate her walking, but it looks cool and fits her character. Sprixie was from Super Mario 3D World and is a really fun and cool addition. I like when they pull from the latest Mario titles for new characters instead of relying on the same old. And it's really odd to me that Grover hasn't been in a Mario Tennis game before this, but it's good she's finally here. When you obtain the unlockable characters for the first time, you automatically get the star version of them, which just goes to show how dumb having a star version is in the first place. And then there are the extra courts we can unlock. I mean, please. I would like some variety, thank you. Simply playing more and more matches will unlock different courts, and the only difference between them is the look and texture of the floor. Carpet, mushroom, sand, ice, rebound, and morph. Can't have Mario Tennis Ultra Smash without carpet, mushroom, sand, ice, rebound, and morph. I'd say the most interesting one is morph, simply because it'll morph into different textures already in the game. Rebound's kinda garbage, but so is the game, so it fits. It'll immediately make the ball fly in the direction it lands on, which is interesting. God, did I just say that? Everything else? Okay. To be honest, while the ball speed and bouncing properties change between each different court texture, most of them, I can barely tell a difference. The different styles I choose between mostly depend on whatever I feel like looking at that day, not necessarily the ball speed and bounce. Of course, if we look at the other Mario Tennis games and see how they all had elaborate court designs with interesting and fun gimmicks based on other Mario titles, as well as a standard stadium with texture differences, you may ask, why doesn't this game have good courts like these? And to answer that, this game had to come out in the holiday of 2015, no exceptions. We have sand court, you're asking for a lot. We can unlock higher CPU difficulties in an amiibo training mode. I mean, having these unlockables, that gives us some incentive to play more Mega Battles.
I don't need an incentive to play Mega Battle. It's Mega Battle.
But we don't necessarily have to complete the tasks the game is asking us to complete to unlock these things. We can just unlock them with the coins we earned. Don't you love how to unlock the Pro difficulty it costs 5,000 coins, but then for the difficulty right above it, it's 30,000? Alright, what else? Does the electronic manual count as a mode? So that's Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, and overall, it's bad tennis.
With Mega Battle.
Such a classic Gex move. Makes you think it's not Gex, and then comes out and says, I'm a bad tennis game. And it's right. Gex is a terrible tennis game.
Yeah, that was a Nintendo published game in 2015. I think I should wrap things up by giving just a little overview on everything Mario Tennis Ultra Smash has to offer. That's it. I remember reading an interview with the developers of Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. There they stated they wanted to go back to the roots of Mario Tennis, and that is code for, here's a lazy excuse as to why this game has less content than the Nintendo 64 one. I could say this is one of the worst Nintendo games ever created, and I will, but is it simply because it has barely 20 minutes worth of content and was obviously rushed out just to get something Mario related out on Wii U that holiday? Is it because this game adds absolutely nothing to the Mario Tennis series and strips out anything and everything memorable or fun from the past games? Is it because the main gimmick of the game adds absolutely nothing but an obtrusive cutscene to matches? Is it because they could have added content to the game via free software updates after the game released but just gave up and barely mentioned it after the game launched? Is it because there's only one stadium in the game with lazy textures added to give the half-assed illusion of multiple arenas? Is it because because it was $50 when it could have very easily been a $15 eShop download? Is it because even disregarding the lack of content, modes, and everything, the core gameplay is just pretty boring? Yes, but was this game ever really meant to be anything but all of that? I mean, the demo they showed off at E3 2015, that was pretty much the final game. I'm not making excuses for this thing. It's absolutely one of the laziest and most soulless games I've ever played from a major publisher. It's absolutely worse than Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, because say what you will about that, but I felt the developers actually kind of cared. It functions fine, but that's not impressive at all. It's tennis. It's like they put together all the words they were going to use in an essay for school. I mean, these were some stellar words. If they formed sentences with them, easy A+. But they never put them on the paper, or in order that would make any grammatical sense. Either this game was supposed to be a legitimate Mario Tennis game and they scrapped everything that would require actual development to ship it out at the last minute, or this was always meant to be just a simple tech demo of Mario Tennis in HD and then they would just reuse the assets to make an actual Mario Tennis game later. I don't know. I would love to find out what happened to this game in the background, but it'll never make it not totally never not bad.
Well, you know what they say, if you play too bad video games for children, you're bound to end up in therapy somehow.
Actually, I played 3.
Wait. No. No. That's impossible. You don't mean... No! 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 No!
So this may be the worst game I've ever played in my life, but what about the final terrible Nintendo game that released in 2015? This was a 3DS game that released right alongside Amiibo Festival and Ultra Smash, and it absolutely murdered a series I've always had a soft spot for. So let's try out Mario Party The Top 100. This released 2 years later and is not in the running. Why is the floor wet?
Oh, you're that guy!
The one and only.
I was your therapist!
You're more delusional than I thought.
You were my patient that wouldn't stop talking about virginity!
And not being your patient.
You played that mammal game with the toys?
I would remember if that happened. It's on my bucket list.
The tennis thing with Big Luigi?
That game doesn't exist. It would be on the news.
And you're about to talk about something else, and that's what I called it!
See, this is where your story falls flat. It's really unlike me to talk about 3 things.
You freaked me out, man. The fact you gave a shit about 3 different games scared me. Who knows what you're capable of giving a shit about?
Let me get this straight. You believe I, who answered a 1 ad in the paper for therapist, used to have you as a therapist, and you went insane after therapy sessions with you about 3 games caused you to question faith.
That's my obituary.
Okay, well, I can't help you until I know what the 3rd game is going to be.
Why?
It sounds like a good thing to add in my book, My Patient's Personal Stories and I.
I don't know. You didn't talk about it. It was a game.
Wait, I remember a game. You were a therapist!
I tried to be a news anchor, but I wasn't cut out. So I became a therapist, yeah.
And I was your patient, and I had to go to you because I played 3 Nintendo games from 2015 that were so bad I had to seek therapy.
Well, what was the 3rd game? What happened when you played the 3rd game?
After I get therapy for playing all 3 of these games, I'm going to suppress everything, forget who I am, and become a therapist. And here we are today.
So it's just a 2D game about a robot!
A bad 2D game about a robot.
Those exist?
Not until 2015 they didn't.
Listen, can you just get over this trauma so I can enjoy my therapy in peace?
No, you need to get over your trauma.
I need therapy, alright? And you're gonna give me advice on how to improve my mental health, and you're gonna like it!
You were a therapist. Don't you give yourself therapy?
My mirror's in the shop!
You don't know what I go through every day. How do you expect me to give you C-grade therapy when we didn't even finish our original session?
You know, I'll tell you what. If I finish your session, will we do my therapy?
You know there are millions of customer support websites that would love to hear your personal problems.
You need to finish what you started. We need to end this now. I have dinner tonight with my family, and I gotta finish this before then, so I don't show up insane.
Okay, fine. Let's go to where it all began.
Nice place. Is this your couch?
Yeah. Okay, this place, so. You ever take a shit?
Oh yeah, big fan.
Cool, so you know what this place is. This is the bathroom.
Know what's always there?
Well, on the off chance I need to restock, no, but I keep these here as a hobby. I like to curate them. This game blows. This game blows.
Oh.
Game
Oh my
blows.
god, it's worse than I thought.
This game blows.
I really should have reconsidered installing that.
You know, I may have left the force a while ago, but when it comes to makeshift therapy offices, I still got it.
I've seen better.
So, tell me where it all went wrong.
Well,
this game is worse than I thought.
Chibi Robo Ziplash is a stupid fucking fuck shit.
You know, that sounds about right, but something just doesn't seem right.
Oh, hey, Scott here.
Now this is therapy!
Back in 275 BC, Euclid did us all a solid and discovered the third dimension, and it only took until 2015 for Chibi Robo to piss all over that. Chibi Robo Ziplash. Over the years, I've been harsh to this game, calling it such names as bad. You may say, Scott, that's just an opinion. I'll respond with, I don't know, the fact detector says otherwise. I don't like this game. If it came to my funeral, I'd be pissed I died in the first place. Of course, what makes it so bad? Well, we should go all the way back to the early 2000s. A great time. This didn't exist yet. The developer known as Skip Limited were widely known for being unknown. They've made quite a few titles in their day, but none of them particularly did all too well. Most people have never even heard of any of the games they've worked on, but they still have a devoted fan base. There's truly nothing else like a Skip game. They have such distinct art styles and humor, it's hard not to appreciate their creativity. Games like Gift Pia on the GameCube, Captain Rainbow on the Wii, only Skip could have made these. And it's a shame barely anybody outside of Japan could experience them as they weren't localized. They created the art style games on WiiWare and DSiWare, the game LOL for the DS, their LinkedIn is doing just fine, don't worry. But the thing they're most well known for, undoubtedly, is Chibi Robo. And people still don't know what this fucking thing is. Here we have a developer who works with Nintendo pretty much exclusively. They've published all of their games except LOL.
Take a chance for once!
And most of their biggest games never left Japan, didn't even do well in Japan to begin with, and their mascot franchise, which got 6 releases, still isn't actively known by anybody outside of this room.
Wait, do I know what it is?
Are you lonely?
No.
Then no. Isn't that weird? A developer that makes this many games with Nintendo, the biggest name in all of words, and if I called the police saying, I was robbed, they took my Nintendo game developed by Skip, they'd go, who? Well, Skip is most known for Chibi Robo. Announced in 2003, it was initially far different from the final product. It was a point-and-click adventure game to be published by Bandai. You had to tell that Chibi Robo where to go and what to do. He was a tiny little robot exploring the home of an inventor, and like all good games with this premise, it was shelved. However, Shigeru Miyamoto of Nintendo got a good look at this game and expressed fondness of the character of Chibi Robo. This is where the company stepped in and decided to publish the game instead of Bandai. Miyamoto joined as a producer and helped shape the game into the final product we have today, which released for the Nintendo GameCube in 2005 for Japan and 2006 for the rest of the world. Chibi Robo plug-into adventure transformed from a point-and-click into a flat-out adventure game. You directly control Chibi Robo exploring a family's house instead of an inventor's. The family bought their own Chibi Robo helper robot. That's me! Roaming around a standard house as a normal-sized human? Boo. As a robot the size of a quarter? It's a dream come true! It's really cool to run around a typical family home, but from the perspective of a rat. Just climbing up furniture is like climbing up a mountain in a regular video game. It's a fun concept, and that's not the only thing Chibi Robo had going for it. This game is weird and different, and that's what I like about it. The humor and style is so it. You meet so many crazy characters, and the gameplay mechanics of having to find an outlet to plug in to recharge and trying to make the humans who bought you happy by accomplishing tasks and gaining happy points. This is a solid game that has that Nintendo charm. It sold horribly. I mean, this released pretty late in the GameCube's life. By the time Chibi Robo came out, I don't think many people were interested in taking a risk on a character that's plug-based on a system nobody had. It's a shame because Chibi Robo as a character has a similar level of charm as any of the other cutesy Nintendo mascots. If they just gave him a chance to succeed, he could live on for quite a long time.
Wanna know what happened? Already got tickets to the funeral!
E3 2006, Chibi Robo Bark Patrol was announced for the Nintendo DS. How the hell did that happen? How do you make a GameCube game that does poorly and Nintendo goes, f it, here's 5 more games? A sequel this soon and on the DS. It was surprising, but hey, this game was coming out pretty early on in the DS's life. It was on a much more popular system. I think Chibi Robo may have a chance to do well here. Side note, I love how I hold this box. I always hold it like this, but my other hand deserves some spotlight. Welp! Here in North America, Park Patrol was only available at Walmart. See, that's great. I couldn't think of a better store to sell a Chibi Robo game. There are two types of Americans, people who shop at Walmart and Chibi Robo fans. There's not much overlap. This seemed like a last-minute decision Nintendo of America made, as just about a month before the game released, GameStop was still taking pre-orders. I feel they just immediately had a bad feeling about this game and made a deal with Walmart, and they probably jumped at the idea of having the exclusive rights to a Nintendo-published DS game, the hottest console out there, and then they found out it was Chibi Robo.
Great.
I think GameStop would have made more sense. Many believe Walmart was chosen due to Park Patrol's themes of environmental conservation and how the store was aiming to not kill as many dolphins that year. No. Do you really think Nintendo decided to specifically limit this game's release just because Walmart's views somewhat aligned with the slight theme of a Chibi Robo game? No, they didn't believe this game was going to be a success and didn't want a warehouse full of unsold copies. Park Patrol released one day after The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. It got no marketing here. You could only buy it at a store that keeps their games behind a glass door. You'd have to say, "1 Chibi Robo, please," and I don't have it in my heart to say that to an underpaid cashier. This game also didn't do well. It did better in Japan. I mean, I can actually find commercials they released for it there. But here in North America, it's pretty obvious why it didn't sell. It's unfortunate because it's an okay enough game. You're Chibi Robo planting flowers in a park. Bit of a different take from the original, and the DS just isn't as good of a platform for a 3D adventure game like this, but it's still a charming, wacky little game. It still feels like Chibi Robo, though not the same as the original. And Nintendo specifically requested that. They wanted this game to be a new spin on Chibi Robo. They apparently thought the original didn't sell well because right when everybody on the planet was about to buy it, they looked up the genre. That makes no sense. Well, in 2009, the original Chibi Robo had a shot at redemption. Nintendo was re-releasing old GameCube games on the Wii at budget prices with motion controls now, dubbed the New Play Control line. Among games like Pikmin, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, and Mario Power Tennis, the original Chibi Robo was set to release on the Wii. This may be a great chance for the game to find a new audience. It was the only new Play Control game that didn't release outside of Japan. Are you fucking kidding me? There would be no work required to bring this game over. It's just the original GameCube game. The translation work's already been done. You could have released this game on a far more popular platform during the height of its popularity here in North America, but no, the last two games didn't do well over here. Well, of course they didn't. You only released one at Walmart and the other one for a failed console, and you marketed neither of them.
Sorry, I've been holding that in for 23 years.
Didn't this happen in 2009?
So, what's next for Chibi Robo? How about a true sequel to the original? Park Patrol was more of a different take on Chibi Robo, while this next game puts Chibi Robo right back in a house helping a family out. Same gameplay, same style. This is Chibi Robo in its purest form. How did they f it up? Well, often called Chibi Robo Clean Sweep by fans, this Nintendo DS game was a full-on continuation of the first game and was really quite good. Both this and the Wii re-release of the original could have brought new life to the series and introduced it to so many more people if they actually marketed and released them outside of Japan. But no. Instead, we had to wait 4 more years for more Chibi Robo action. Imagine the world without Chibi Robo games. In 2013, we got Chibi Robo Photo Finder for the Nintendo 3DS in Japan, and 1 year later everywhere else. It was downloadable only and is more of a Park Patrol-like Chibi Robo game. By that I mean it was similar to the original style, but with a fair amount of differences. This game focused on taking pictures with the 3DS camera to transport real-world objects into the game's world. I think this was a totally decent little title. It looked quite good for being just a downloadable 3DS game too, though its more realistic looking art style, while obviously done due to the photo-taking mechanic, isn't nearly as charming as the typical Chibi Robo style. Taking photos with the 3DS camera though, I think that's what killed a lot of interest in this game. If it came out in 2011 when the 3DS just launched, sure, but the novelty of augmented reality type stuff with the 3DS died off considerably by this point. Nobody really wanted to take pictures with their 3DS anymore, so building an entire game around it starring a character nobody knew, what do you mean we're going out of business? I mean, if playing a photo-based adventure game was your New Year's resolution in 2014, f it, the game released early January here in North America. It was perfect for that.
Oh, come on! You need to be more accepting of different resolutions. For example, my New Year's resolution is to drink more.
It's July.
Yeah!
It didn't help that this game was announced in a Nintendo Direct with dozens of other announcements that easily overshadowed it. Like, people had more to say about Dr. Luigi. Well, I'll give Nintendo credit that they truly kept trying with Chibi Robo, far more than other franchises that sold even more. They just kept mishandling this series. It felt like they never wanted to blame themselves for the series' low sales and instead chucked it up to, oh, people just don't get Chibi Robo. What's there to get? He's a tiny robot! I personally believe you can take any character and make him a success with the right type of marketing. Is there any reason why a fat pink circle does well, but a tiny robot doesn't? Nintendo believed that if we don't spend any advertising on Chibi Robo and it still doesn't do well, we probably have to add some gimmick or change the game for the next entry to make it more appealing.
How does a company do so well but goes f***ing asinine when it comes to Chibi Robo? What's so difficult about understanding that, if I don't market a game, or if I release it at the end of a failed console's lifespan, or I only release it at a store that sells f***ing hoses at, or maybe if I take the only 2 games that may have had a chance in North America and only release it in Japan, that it may be my fault the game's not doing well instead of the games themselves!
Moments like this make me really proud I was voted most likely to be therapist in high school.
Nice, I was voted most likely to go to therapy.
I'm not saying Chibi Robo could be the next Air. I don't think it appeals to everybody, but there's no reason why so many other games that are weirder and more complicated sell better. It's not rocket science. Nintendo just doesn't understand why this series fails to do at least a little bit better, not the series itself. But see, that's when we entered 2015, and Nintendo's had enough of the series not doing well. They thought, you know what the problem with Chibi Robo is?
Is lack of empathy?
No.
Overqualification?
Barely.
Tax evasion?
That's me.
Nope, it's the fact Chibi Robo isn't a 2D platformer!
That's my parents' problem with me too.
Chibi Robo Zip game. I've always just had a bit of a problem with this one. Oh, hi Scott, it's your mom. You're adopted.
Well, that's understandable. I appreciate your transparency.
Oh, and Chibi Robo Ziplash exists.
No!
This was announced in a Japan exclusive Nintendo Direct on May 31st, 2015, starting things off showing what Chibi Robo is all about, exploring 3D environments as a miniature robot. Now here's the game you're actually getting, you dumb bitch. So why did they take Chibi Robo and turn it into a 2D platformer? Well, 2D games are easier to develop, are more accessible, and generally sold much better for Nintendo at the time. After New Super Mario Bros. Success, Nintendo went a bit 2D crazy, and it felt like pretty much all they were making on the Wii U and 3DS at the time were 2D games. Even though 3D games like Super Mario 3D World were very much inspired by 2D games, it was pretty much a 2D Mario game, but with an extra axis. So they probably thought, oh, let's turn Chibi Robo into a 2D platformer so it'll sell better. Here's the thing, the genre wasn't the problem with Chibi Robo. You can't just take this character and put him in a kart racer and expect it to sell well. Consumers won't go up to a game called Chibi Robo's Super Gas and go, oh, finally a genre I care about that Chibi Robo's in, I'm gonna buy this. No, they're still gonna go, what the f is a Chibi Robo? Just putting him in a 2D platform is not gonna do anything except make him blend into the crowd more rather than stick out. Listen, I love 2D platformers, but Nintendo made too many of them on 3DS and Wii U. It just felt somewhat cheap and lazy to do nothing but 2D games instead of making a more in-depth 3D one. And I think that was one of the problems with Nintendo this generation. Like, no wonder people didn't buy the Wii U. 2D games are fun and more people can play them, but they just aren't as exciting to look at like 3D games are. You're not gonna buy an entire console for one. The Wii U had a bunch of great 2D games, but that's kind of all it had for a while. 2D platformers are games you don't want to take a risk on. Many of them, especially Nintendo ones, are more so comfort food for people. So tell me, why would you go wild with a game called Chibi Robo Ziplash if you want a 2D platformer when you could just buy New Super Mario Bros. 2 on the 3DS, or Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, or Kirby Triple Deluxe, or Yoshi's New Island, or Shovel Knight, or Sonic, or later on after Ziplash released, Kirby Planet Robobot, Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World, Super Mario Maker? Like, sure, making this game a 2D platformer makes it more accessible. Yes! But it set it up to compete against so many of Nintendo's other properties. Like, do you really think Chibi Robo Ziplash stands a chance next to Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World? Oh, f***ing course not!
So you didn't like that they turned the small robot into Poochie Town?
No, I personally feel there was a lot of potential for Chibi Robo to work fine in 2D.
You're mental.
Let me finish.
No! You're insane! And I don't work with people who have mental problems.
You're a therapist.
It's not that they turned Chibi Robo 2D. I mean, if they did it right, it could be a cute little time. My issue is why they did it, how they did it, and when they did it. They did this because Chibi Robo never sold well, so turn him into a 2D platformer. That makes the whole game feel oddly patronizing. Like, oh, you didn't get this, so here's the most basic by-the-numbers game we could possibly make. If this makes no sense to you, here you go, you dumb bitch. You like it now? The game looked fine initially, but nothing stuck out about it. It was just, oh, here's a 2D game with a whip. Everything's made out of blocks. There's nothing that takes advantage of the fact that Chibi Robo's a small robot. You could have taken him out of the game and made him any character and given them a whip, and it would have been the exact same thing. And they did this when the 3DS was far from lacking in 2D platformers. Like I said, this doesn't make the game more appealing, it just makes it blend in with the crowd. But here's a Chibi Robo amiibo that comes with the game, you should buy it! Oh man, now people who collect amiibo have to buy this. I mean, they just have to. You get the figure and it barely does anything when you scan it into the game, you have to have it. The game was announced for North America one day later on June 1st in a Nintendo Direct Micro, playing around with the small size of Chibi Robo. The game was announced for an October release. They showcased it at E3 later that month, not in their big Nintendo digital event, no, but at things like the Treehouse Live Show. It's really weird to me that they didn't just wait to reveal this game at E3 2015 and instead opted to talk about it in the Direct Micro. I mean, they padded out their digital event with stuff like talking about Yoshi's Woolly World for the 20th time like 4 days before it came out in Europe. Why not show off Ziplash during their big event? If they went to all the trouble of turning Chibi Robo into a 2D platform for the sake of making it more widely recognizable and accessible, why not showcase the game in your big E3 show? Instead, all you do is announce it in a video many people didn't even know existed and proceed to not talk about it for 4 months until it comes out in October. Again, you like to act like you want this franchise to succeed, but you just give up on it immediately after revealing a new game.
So what you're saying is, it's a shitty game.
Chibi Robo Ziplash was released on October 9th, 2015 here in North America, and the developers basically guilted fans into buying it, saying how, oh, this may be our last chance for Chibi Robo. Oh, please, you know what else was potentially the last chance for a franchise? Fire Emblem Awakening. That also released for the 3DS, and it was pretty much the ultimate Fire Emblem at the time. Fans loved it, and it created new fans. Chibi Robo Ziplash is nothing like a Chibi Robo game. It wasn't what fans wanted, but they better buy it if they want more games. What does that tell Nintendo? If I buy this game, that's telling them I want more 2D Chibi Robo. I don't. Or it also says I'll buy anything Nintendo releases. I did. So for $29.99, you can buy this game by itself. For $10 more, you could get the Amiibo bundle. This was originally the only way you could nab the Chibi Robo Amiibo here in the States, though later on Amazon exclusively sold it separately. I mean, I like this Amiibo quite a bit. The plug is neat. It's too big to fit into an actual outlet. Curses. But this is a nice figure, and I like the box, I guess. The new Chibi Robo logo looks better than the original, in my opinion, though. The name, I found it odd that from October 2015 to October 2016, Nintendo had a tendency to name games that were either polarizing or negatively received with an ash at the end of their subtitles. But at least here, Ziplash is a fun play on words referencing a medical condition. I'd assume if this game got a sequel, it would be called Chibi Robo Melanoma Roma.
Oh, come on! I think Ziplash is a great name. If they replaced the word good with the word Chibi Robo Ziplash, I'd have no problem with it!
You'd be okay with replacing a word just like that?
Oh, I would. And that's saying something. Words mean a lot to me. Words have been in my family for generations. I'm a word buff. Go ahead, name a word. Any word.
What?
Love that one!
Upon release, Ziplash received a price drop. Yes, this did not do well commercially or critically. Sitting at a ripe 59 on Metacritic, was that deserved? No, even 0's too high. I bought this game at launch because I wanted to support the Chibi Robo franchise. I wanted to see more games. I wanted the series to not have to worry about casket shopping after every entry. Plus the amiibo was neat, and I was in that buy every Nintendo release you can phase of my life. I popped this game in, played it for 58 minutes, and I couldn't do it.
So you've barely played this game, and yet you hate it this much?
No, I hate it way more than this much.
You can't form an opinion on a game you've barely played. That's unethical. That's why we have HR.
So I should play 10 hours of a game I already know I don't like just to have an opinion on it?
Well, if you don't like it, don't play it.
But how would I know I don't like it if I don't play it?
Well, just stop doing stuff!
This game has spent enough time soaking. It's time to play through it and give it a fair shot, because who knows, maybe 60 hours in, I'll start to see its worth. I will not put this down until I beat this game, so let me just do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. There.
Can you put the game in for me?
No! That goes against my family's tradition. They never asked me to pop in Chibi Robo Ziplash, and I will always never do that to honor them!
Well, we're gonna need help with this. Can you at least get this off of me?
Now that, me and my family did all the time!
I am forwarding this message to everybody in my contacts list. If you stop by tonight, we'll play...
Don't lie. I've lied before, and it's too fun.
Chibi Robo Ziplash.
Did not take you as a Ziplash fan.
I'm not. I knew you were lying, and I'm finally willing to give Gex a shot.
Oh no.
It's the Gex. Anyone up for round Gex?
What if I told you I didn't even own Gex and I wasn't lying about Ziplash?
That's ridiculous. We played Gex that one time.
That was Amiibo Festival.
Well,
that was Ultra Smash.
But
that was a car wash we went through together.
Hey, I heard you didn't own Gex.
From myself?
Yeah. Word gets around.
You keep these on you? I thought you hated Gex.
Hey, I cross-reference that copy whenever I need to be reminded how much I hate Gex. Yeah. Yeah, f that lizard.
Alright, let's play Gex.
You know what I like about Gex? Consistency. Okay, can somebody pop in the game for me? I can't do it myself.
You knew that was going to end up happening anyways.
I was worried that 3DS wasn't hammer resistant.
You're welcome.
Alright. Chibi Robo Ziplash. Swing into action with your Chibi plug and help Chibi Robo save the world. I think I'm gonna be sick.
Oh! That's a fucking Cheez-It!
Let's get this over with.
Chibi Robo Ziplash opens up on a 40-second long CGI cutscene where Chibi Robo swings his plug. And that's it. Here's the title screen. This looks disgusting. First off, oh great, a farm. That's the first and only thing I think of when the act of Chibi Robo comes up. Everything is really blocky and unappealing. To me, this feels like they were cutting corners and made really low polygon models and tried to act like, oh, that's just the game's art style. Like, really? Is this really an artistic decision? So the story starts. Chibi Robo is cleaning a space shuttle.
I don't give a shit!
Our assistant Telly appears asking if we want to kick it and watch some TV. The news comes on and it's apparent that aliens have stolen natural resources from Earth. We gotta stop them. So here we go, we control Chibi Robo, who would have guessed? We jump with A and swing your plug with X, which is called a whiplash. This game is one big f you to WebMD. We can angle it in the air, that's all we can do. Swing to the side, swing at one angle in the air, nothing else is possible, stop dreaming. That is unless we hold the Y button. That's when the Ziplash comes into play. Oh, thank God, yes, finally, a good fucking use for this button. The Ziplash is a more powerful whiplash you have to charge up and then you can angle anywhere. You collect orbs throughout the level to increase the length of your Ziplash and then you can get it going farther places, but the length resets after every level, so it might be a good idea to just give up. So, yeah, the Ziplash can go pretty far. Look at that, somebody should name a game after it. Man, can you imagine a game with an Ultra Smash and a Ziplash? The Ziplash needs to be charged though, and it's painstakingly long. It takes a couple of seconds and then you have to aim, and if I aim incorrectly, I have to charge it up again. Aiming the thing is way too finicky with the circle pad. You can move it more precisely with the D-pad, but now aiming is ridiculously slow. So that means, well, just use the whiplash, but it's so damn limited. You can't increase its length like the Ziplash, and you can only aim it in like 2 directions. So your options are either annoyingly limited or annoyingly slow. This isn't fun. It feels like they were making the game and Chibi Robo's moveset was actually pretty interesting and well developed and, you know, fun. And they said, you know what, this is too fun. Let's split Chibi Robo's plug attack across 2 moves and give them annoying elements that forces the player to use both. That's not fun. I don't jump at the chance to use a whiplash. I don't jump at the chance to use a ziplash. I begrudgingly use them to progress. I mean, alright, the whiplash is good for up close combat and the ziplash is good for far away stuff. I get they wanted to have a reason for you to use the whiplash and the ziplash, but come on, out of all games to have coherent design decisions, I'd personally design Chibi Robo's moveset to be a bit more fun to use because the whiplash is too limited and the ziplash is too much of a hassle. I think charging the Ziplash is unnecessary. Charging it doesn't make it go longer or anything. I think just holding the button, it immediately lets you aim and then you can let her rip. Maybe the downside would be the fact that once you let her rip, you have to watch it do its thing afterwards. There's still that slowness element, but it would be a lot less cumbersome. And then you could have given the Whiplash more angles to work with here while still being short in its reach. I think doing that and eliminating the Ziplash charge up would still give you reasons to use both moves. Of course you may say, Sky, you're not a developer, you don't know the first thing about designing a game. See, that's the thing, I don't know the first thing about game development, but that makes it even more fun to tell game developers what I would do differently.
You know, this game doesn't seem too bad so far. It has graphics, and it exists.
Yeah, you know me. I'm a sucker for existence.
Me too. That's why I love Gex. Guys, like, the game works, but the movement is more annoying than fun. It's like just gliding in the air. You have to hold X while falling. It's like, it just doesn't feel good. It feels awkward. It feels like a tacked-on move more than anything. And then there's rolling in the game. Like, you have to hold R, and it's only used in, like, 4 levels throughout the entire thing. Like, it's worthless!
Wait, there's a roll in the game?
Oh, yeah! Roll! Yeah! That's f***ing Gex!
So controlling the game works, but I don't find it fun. Your moveset is more so a means to get you to the end of the game rather than something I actively want to use because it's enjoyable. I mean, the game itself, it's just Chibi Robo going from point A to point B in the level. Use your plug to do all kinds of things, kill enemies, latch onto areas. I can't believe this game didn't do well. You have plugs throughout the levels to recharge your health, which gradually decreases throughout the level since you're just on battery power. So you plug in here, but then you can attach these orange things to fly up to higher ground.
why are they just orange things? What are orange things? Why aren't they outlets? That's one thing I just don't get about this game. The art design, context of everything, and what the hell they were going for. So Chibi Robo's going on a journey throughout the world. We travel to Oceania, then North Africa, then the Caribbean, Europe, North America, the South Pole, real life places. So why are all levels so generic? Why are they made out of blocks? Why is everything going for a low polygon art style? And where exactly am I in relation to these places? Chibi Robo's a tiny robot, but I never feel that perspective in these stages. Sure, there might be a big hat or something in the background, but most of the time, his size never amounts to anything in here. The fact I'm in Europe doesn't matter. These are just bland-looking stages that are just made up of tiles. Like, why do these levels look like they were made in a level creator? Just everything's made up of blocks. And if that's really the art style they were going for, why wasn't Chibi Robo redesigned to look more blocky to go along with the rest of the style? Why can't I collect real-world candies in the game that are designed realistically, but then the rest of the game looks like this? But then the worlds I'm traveling through are real-life locations. I'm supposed to actually believe this is Europe, but then when we're about to fight a boss, Telly says, oh, we're about to fight World 1's boss. Like, who says that outside of a video game? That just feels lazy. Why couldn't you just say, oh man, this guy's looking pretty tough? No! You're about to fight the World 3 boss fight, sir. You are in a video game made of blocks, even though we also like to act like you're in real life Europe. Here's a realistic looking bag of Funyuns.
I personally enjoy how inconsistent the art style is.
Yeah, inconsistency is a fun quirk of Gex.
I think it really keeps you on your toes. Like a mouse.
Oh, yeah. All right, okay, I get it.
All right,
Yeah.
How about, I think it's confusing. None of this references the fact that Chibi Robo is a tiny robot, which is his entire character. The block-based level design is putrid, and this game just doesn't know what it wants to be at all.
So, tell me where it all began.
Oh, don't even get me started.
I'm gonna need a priest.
So we've got 6 worlds with 6 levels each in them. That doesn't seem like a lot, but when we enter these levels, they really got around the lack of content here by making the levels never f***ing end. These stages take a good 10 to 20 minutes to finish, and without there's absolutely nothing interesting going on in them, and how slow Chibi Robo is, how slow the Ziplash is to charge up, how limited the Whiplash is, they feel a hell of a lot longer. They're beyond tedious, and it doesn't help that this game just has a ton of collectibles hidden throughout the levels. They're pointless. You have Chibi Tots, they're children, big coins, all these do is increase your score at the end of the level, and there are so many of these things per stage, I almost feel inclined to collect them, but then I remember, these give you nothing, stop wasting your time is valuable, and then I continue to play 10 hours of Chibi Robo Ziplash. Now, you do have those collectible snacks throughout the levels too, the really realistic looking ones. You can nab these, and then if you find a talking toy and give them all the snacks they want, you'll unlock a costume. These talking toys are some of the only form of resemblance this game has to actual Chibi Robo games. Those titles had you meet up with wacky looking characters, and the toys are sort of that, but they just look completely out of place here. Like, it made sense when you'd see these things in the original game. They're toys, you're in a family's house, do the math. Here I'm just dicking around in the Caribbean and some toy is randomly just hanging out in a portal. There's no context to the place they're sitting, it's just a place. There's nothing going on here. Why are you here? Why theme this entire game around a trip around the world when you aren't actually going to make the stages look like they're a part of that world and have random toys ask for snacks in them? Why not make this a 2D platformer taking place in a house or a school or something? That would have forced the developers to think outside the box and try to design unique platforming stages around places like a kid's room, a bathroom, a kitchen. Instead, they decided to go for a worldwide trip theme so they could just lazily use generic themes like grasslands, desert. They just went water level, we're in the Caribbean. Anyways, the snacks you give to these toys are real world snacks, and you get a giant advertisement told to you when you give them the food. Yes, this is blame product placement, and it's even weirder based on how the rest of the game looks like this. And then you find Utz cheese curls and they look like that. To be fair, the snacks are from around the world, and it doesn't feel like advertising when it's a foreign food. It's more so kind of just a fun fact thing. But no matter what, this is obviously product placement at its worst. There's no reason for this to be here. It doesn't fit. At least in a game like Pikmin 2, where there are real-world objects in the game. One, it fits more because Pikmin 2's environments are supposed to look like the real world. It's more realistic. And two, they don't openly advertise the products to you. They go, oh, what's this thing? And they try to make sense of it themselves. It doesn't feel like product placement in Pikmin 2 because the product placement adds to the experience. It makes it more realistic. Ziplash pissed me off and makes me want dots. So, I hate how the game looks. The levels are incredibly boring and they go on forever. The product placement is completely out of place. The moveset is more cumbersome than fun. I don't like it.
Well, that sounds like somebody that hasn't played enough of this game. Why don't you play another 5 hours and come back to us?
Yeah, it's a fine game. It's not like the level progression is like one of the stupidest game mechanics you've ever seen.
Oh! After
after you beat a stage, you have to spin the destination wheel. That sounds like fun. What does it do? Well, it decides what stage you're doing next. If you land on 1, you go to the next stage. If you land on 2, you go to the stage after the next. Now, you'll still have to beat the stage you skipped over to progress. So what the f is the point of jumping all around like this? The 6 stages per world are set up like most 2D platformers. They gradually get harder the farther you go, so why make players play them out of order if that's the case? And also, while the stages are deliberately called World 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, there's an obvious order to follow here. Why do I have to spin this wheel? The wheel isn't meant to be fun. It's meant to be a roadblock, much like how the whiplash is limited and the ziplash is slow. Why wouldn't I want to go one stage at a time? I can't see what any future stages are going to contain. There's no reason why I'd want to play level 5 before level 3, so why would I want to skip around like this? Obviously, the game wants you to progress normally. The end of a level is symbolized by 3 UFOs. Hitting the gold one gives you 3 destination wheel spins, silver gets you 2, bronze gives you 1. Obviously, you want the gold so you can guarantee you can keep spinning the wheel to get the stage you want, as in the next one in line. Because if you spin the wheel and it lands on a 3 and you land on a stage you've already cleared, you have to play through it again. The game knows this isn't fun. Why else would they reward you with extra chances to spin by hitting the gold UFO? Why else would you be able to purchase wheel slots so you can get the exact number you want? Wait, what the f is the point of this then? If I can just buy slots with the exact numbers I want with the coins I collect, that just defeats any and all purpose of the wheel. It's just an annoying thing they added for the sake of being annoying. It doesn't even make sense in the context of the game. At least things like the news broadcast you're forced to watch in Splatoon, that may be annoying, but makes sense in the context of the game's world. A fucking wheel doesn't. It's even stupider that once you clear all the levels in the world and the boss appears, you still have to spin the wheel even when all the slots take you to the boss. What is wrong with this game?
Not much.
Well, might as well go through all the worlds. I mean, what else is there to talk about? World 1 is Oceania. We got boring grassland stages, a stage where we're on balloons and swinging back and forth brings it down, staying still brings it up.
That saves the game right there.
World 1's boss is a robot kangaroo thing, fun. World 2 is North Africa, basically the desert world of this game. We have a skateboard stage in here. I died twice and gave up. When you die twice or more, you can just clear stages with coins. I have no shame. This game is far from difficult. It's incredibly easy, but if you happen to fall down a pit or something, starting back at the last checkpoint is grueling due to how slow everything is. I hate the idea of having to do everything in this game all over again. And if you lose all your energy, you have to restart the level. And for these vehicle gimmick stages, it's really easy to get a game over because either your robot energy is being used by the vehicles or just one screw up is an immediate failure and you have to start the whole level over again. Thumbs in anything that's played this game. The boss of this world is a snake pharaoh thing. Grab bombs and throw it in its mouth. Just getting these bombs over here takes a while, and waiting for the snake to open up its mouth takes a while. This boss took 15 minutes to complete, and I didn't die at all. It just took a long time. I was considering giving up here. I considered giving up as soon as I left the womb, but alas, here I am, World 3. The Caribbean, the ocean stage, where Chibi Robo pulls a Moses and parts the Red Sea. There's an ice Chibi Robo power-up where we get to turn water into ice for a second. There's also a fire Chibi Robo power-up where we get to turn things on fire, but both of these pretty much equate to hold right, you'll demolish anything in your path. There's a jet ski thing, and then the submarine is one of the worst controlling things humanity has ever created. It is so slow and delayed. It is a submarine. It should feel slightly slow and delayed, but this is so slow and delayed. It's just not fun. Like 90% of what this game does, they force these little irritations in there. They could have made this game, at the very least, fun to control, but for some reason, they think adding an annoying thing to every controllable aspect of this game is good game design. And then the boss of this world, you use the damn submarine again! World 4 is Europe, or the forest, where it's just the same 2D platforming again. The return of the stupid balloon thing, I skipped this one, the boss is bats. World 5 is North America, alright, home field advantage. This is an industrial world, a lot of factories. Another skateboard level, I skipped this one. The boss is this. And World 6 is the South Pole. The South Pole. It's really weird the final levels are snow-themed. It's even weirder half of them are lava-themed. So I guess the idea is that the aliens have done so much damage to the world that the South Pole is on fire. Maybe. Or maybe they just decided to slap real-world places on the names of these worlds at the last minute. The controls in this world. Oh Christ God. I actually usually like ice worlds in games. The physics are generally tolerable to me and I enjoy the winter aesthetic, but here, the controls are terrible. It's not only slippery, but everything is so delayed and slower than ever before. This is unbearable. There's another jet ski stage, skipped it, I kept running out of battery power and got 2 game overs, didn't have the energy myself to figure out what I was doing wrong. The world randomly throws you a lava stage halfway through. It goes back to an ice theme and then another lava theme. The final boss! Oh my god, I don't know if I'm happy I finally finished this game and can actively call it a piece of shit, or if I'm sad I stooped to the level of beating Chibi Robo Ziplash. The boss is a giant alien ship. We grab the tiny alien UFOs, they become laser guns, and we have to shoot all the bright spots on the ship in the background. Honestly, the best fight in the game. It's a decent fight, not hard at all, but I think it was a neat little change of pace. But of course, this wasn't the final boss. There's a final boss. We have to build a giant Chibi Robo robot to fight it, and now we have to buy the pieces to make the robot. This money I've collected has had no use outside of skipping levels, buying number panels, and buying items throughout the stage if you needed them. I did not. But right before the final boss, you're telling me I had to be grinding for coins this entire time. Why not make it so that in every boss fight you have to purchase things so it gets in my Chibi Robo Ziplash beating head that I might need to save up coins for the final boss? I only had enough coins for the head. Now I have to go back through the game and grind for 20,000 coins to buy body parts to beat the final boss. I am f***ing done.
You should probably get on that.
I can use the amiibo. Look, Chibi Robo is still partially owned by Bandai. I'm still not happy. We can get World 7 Asia with it by scanning it in. It's a bonus world and... oh my god, why didn't the rest of the game look like this? I mean, there are still blocks, but this looks so much more appealing than the rest of the game. We can level up our Chibi Robo amiibo and become Super Chibi Robo, which is just a slightly powered up Chibi Robo. I don't know what else to say, man. I don't want to play through hours more of this game just to get coins for a final boss I'm not gonna like. And so... I can see where the budget went.
You know, it all comes together in the end.
I mean, I liked the game, but now I really like it.
X.
Chibi Robo Ziplash is not a good game. It's a painfully generic 2D platformer and spits in the face of what the original Chibi Robo represented and showcases my problems with some modern Nintendo games. It felt like it was talking down to the consumers. No, people don't like this, but they'll like this. A boring, annoying 2D platformer with terrible art design and no idea what it wants to be. The levels are designed alright, the game functions, but is that really enough to call a game okay? No, there's no reason to play this game, and it annoys me that they held the series hostage over this thing's success. I don't think Skip developed much of this game. The developer Vanpool is in the credits, and looking at their history with games like Wii Play Motion and the minigames and Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, I feel like they primarily developed this game and Skip kinda just oversaw it. Comparing these 3 games is tough, but I easily dislike Ziplash the most. They're all terrible, but Amiibo Festival has some dumb, sarcastic fun to be had in it, and Ultra Smash at its core has a fine base for a Mario Tennis game. Ziplash, every element of it, I have problems with, and as I progress through the game, it just irritated me more and more. It was painful to play through. This game slugs on and on. It's not fun. Every aspect of the gameplay, they added an annoying element for seemingly no reason other than to just be annoying. I have no idea why they did any of this considering they wanted Chibi Robo to be a success. Thrown in Destination Wheel, Chibi Robo's future is on the line. It's been 5 years since I bought this. And even though I'm 97% finished, I'm done. And I think I've played enough to consider this my least favorite game of all time. It blows.
Seems a little harsh, acting like you hate the game or something.
I do!
But you said the level designs are alright. You must love the game then.
Just because a game doesn't inherently have terrible level design or any major bugs or glitches, that doesn't mean it's fine. It just means it works. Just because a game works doesn't mean it's good. I don't like playing this game. I hate what it stands for. I don't like that they made fans of Chibi Robo buy this with the hope of Chibi Robo having a future. I don't like that they thought so low of people and consumers thinking that they'll love this generic, terrible 2D platformer. I don't like this game.
You know, when you put it that way, I kind of like the idea of this game being terrible.
Yeah, and as a therapist, therapy generally moves the quickest when I agree with everything the patient has to say.
Gex will be Gex.
You know, I've had a ritual for the past 3 years or so. This game blows. This game blows. This game blows. This game blows. As much as I like that, I think I want to end this now. How can we take each and every one of the Chibi Robo Ziplash games in existence and eliminate each and every one of them?
We're swimming with rats.
Can't swim. Love rats. I'm in.
More of a lizard guy.
I'm deathly afraid of circles.
Come on, guys. I have thrown 95% of Ziplash's population down the toilet over the past 3 years. If we go down there right now, we can finish them off before they ever resurface.
I have as much confidence in this as I have facial hair.
You have facial hair.
Where?
Well, I'm in. You know what they say, WWGD. What would Gex do? The G stands for Jesus. All right, Rex. Oh, the revolution isn't for everybody.
Oh, I dropped something down the toilet last week. Remind me to look for it. Oh! There are my jeans!
Okay, so keep an eye out for these games.
What does it look like again?
Hard to describe. Shapes, 4 sides, colors.
Does it have Chibi Robo Ziplash on it?
Yes!
There they are.
I just thought that's what water looked like now!
Weird name for Gex. Why are the copies circling around?
I f***ing hate circles! All the copies you've thrown down the toilet over the past 3 years have become sentient?
That's why my plumber f***ing hated me.
Guys, come on. Gex gonna do this, right, Gex?
It's the anti-Gex!
No, it's just a sewer monster comprised entirely of copies of Ziplash!
I'm going with the anti-Gex.
Even the anti-Gex has the word Gex in it.
Now that's what I call a good point.
I'm tired of this! You're a terrible game! But that doesn't mean I won't overcome you! I'm better than that! You're back?
I needed energy and ammo.
So what's the game plan here? What the hell is the game plan here?
What's the exact opposite of this thing?
Not Gex, that's for sure. No. No, I think it's Gex.
You know, I've always wondered what trauma felt like.
Thanks. Thanks for sticking it out with me. I got it all out of my system. Nintendo had a bad 2015, but that doesn't mean I should let it affect my mental health. And so what if somebody likes a game I dislike? It doesn't matter. They're wrong anyways.
It's been an honor serving you. I can finally tell you why you're so messed up in the head. After playing a game as good as Chibi Robo Ziplash, it will definitely make you feel inadequate.
Sure.
You can rip up that rain check for therapy I had with you. I'm good on my own now. I think I'm going to start my own therapy business. Call it the Think Barrel.
Nah, good on you. I love seeing therapists start their own business.
Yeah. What was your name?
Dr. Atrix, but you can call me Jerry.
Thank you, Dr. Geriatrics. You know, I still have this on me. Oh my god, for real? Oh yes! We're turning this Gex night into a Gex year. What the f is this?
Hey y'all, Scott here. You know, I have a life outside of talking about stupid Nintendo games. I almost got murdered. Finally, I'm a victim! It's exciting when you got nothing else going on. That's just the thing though. I do have things going on. I'm a busy guy. Which is why I'm one of the few who take attempted murder seriously. Every
Every murderer needs a murderer, and ours just so happened to be Mr. Officer Steel Wool. Lucky for me, I printed this off before he tried to murder us. A while back, we were all invited to a dinner party. No murders allowed. Somebody didn't read the itinerary. Everybody except the host recovered from being murdered, which makes us prime suspects to sue him. So today's the big day. We're taking Steel Wool to court, and I'm gonna be a star. I can see the headlines now. Murder victims innocent.
What's the code?
I was murdered.
So, are you ready to be one of the first allies in the war against murder?
Oh, I don't think I can be in the same room as the man who killed me.
Don't be such a baby. I was in the same room as your murderer, and he f***ing stinks.
I don't know, just why did he kill me? Was there something about my face?
I wouldn't take it too personally. It probably has nothing to do with your looks. He probably just f***ing hates you. Nothing personal.
So what are we suing him for?
Defamation.
Good. Your social status does really plummet after being murdered.
Oh man, you leave your door open too?
I'll do it as a hobby.
Only on the weekends.
How were we killed?
Alright, so I wanted to touch base until we head over to the courthouse.
Where is it again?
Vegas.
It's a 28-hour drive.
With normal traffic.
28 hours? I have jury duty in 28 hours.
Oh, don't go throwing hours in my face. I'm the biggest hours fan there is.
Why Vegas? There's a courtroom nearby.
Oh yeah, I think I noticed the drive-thru on the way here.
Well, that Vegas wedding's out there. Super quick, you're in, you're out. Vegas trial is the exact same idea. I thought it would save us some time.
Oh, thank God. Turns out I'm serving jury duty on our trial.
You're the victim.
An unbiased victim.
Well, I'm RT-SSW.
What is that?
Ready to sue Steel Wool.
Just say the full thing.
No, I'm busy today.
I invited a +9.
I'm ready to win over my killer.
How about candy to throw into the audience, get them on our side?
Well, I can't wait to throw this guy behind bars if he turns out to be guilty.
Didn't he kill us?
Allegedly.
Hello? What do you mean you don't have a ride? Alright, fine. We got a carpool.
Oh, I'm just saying, if we took that exit, we could have shaved off 10 minutes.
All rise.
You didn't tell me there was going to be a judge.
Yeah, I wouldn't have warned this.
I'm Judge Absence. Welcome to the litigation station, the brand 9 out of 10 lawyers recommend. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to my judge in training.
I'm gonna be your judge this evening. Only here because my mom made me get a summer job. It's f***ing September.
Well, alright, I got him biased to be.
Okay, so what's the plan here?
I was planning on lying, but we could spice things up and not lie.
That's perfect. I can't lie. I hate lying.
It's ridiculous. Everyone's lied before. When was the last time you lied?
1 sentence ago.
I don't know. I'm gonna crumble. There's no way I can face my killer.
I f***ing had it, okay? This is just outlaw trauma.
So where's our lawyer?
It says here in the court document that our lawyer is me.
Yeah, I wrote that.
Great, the f***ing person's gonna be our lawyer.
Guys, I was there throughout the entire thing. I know what happened. And plus, representing yourself in court always works out. Like, and even...
I gotta not hand it to you. I'm in.
I mean, as long as we're not against a real lawyer, we should be fine.
Hi, Liza Lux, real lawyer.
Damn it! Hey, Scott Wozniak, recreational lawyer. Just a quick question, lawyer to lawyer here. I was wondering how much of a real lawyer are you? Are you real as in professional or real as in concrete matter?
You know, I could ask the same to you.
A true lawyer never reveals their identity.
Well, I heard that you're representing yourself in this case and that you're gonna lose.
I wasn't planning on it, but I'm open to the idea.
Listen, I've defended this guy numerous times. I know he's an insane killer. Just give him a break.
So you know he was guilty?
Oh, I defend murderers all the time. I love those little guys. I'm a big advocate for murder.
What, are you a murderer?
No, I'm not insane.
Well, I studied virgin law, and I'm more prepared than you and I think. And I'm not leaving this courtroom until we win.
Oh, we'll see about that. Can we have court outside today?
Damn it, she's good.
Objection, your lawyer. I have vitamin D sufficiency.
Time to break out this icebreaker again. I call Steel Wool to the stand. So, Mr. Wool, did you kill anybody?
Objection, he doesn't have to answer that.
Yeah, that is a pretty personal question.
I mean, I know he killed me, but I don't blame him for not answering that.
Permission to persist, Your Honor?
F*** it.
Say it, say it, say it, say it, say it, say it, say it.
I think I might have killed some people.
Yes, I did it!
Your Honor, that wasn't a confirmation. If anything, it makes him less likely to be the killer.
That is true. A real killer would remember killing.
I freaked out. I just wanted to make sure the jury was on our side.
The only member of the jury was murdered by him.
I did hear he's leaning towards the defendant.
I'm leaning towards him too. We're f***ed.
Your Honor, I called Jebediah Jab to the stand.
Oh, great. Now they called the guy who doesn't believe in us. This is f***ing great.
So, Jab, is there anybody else a part of the Jab family?
Nope. Just me and my vegan in crime, Terry Lessler.
Is it Isn't getting murdered against the vegan creed?
I think it's frowned upon.
Yes, you don't want to kill any animals, but you can get killed all you want? Doesn't that seem a little unfair?
That is very quite bullshit, yes.
He's slipping. We're losing him.
Yeah, I'm getting real sick of your attitude. We're in Vegas. Be happy.
Do you really think it's fair to make all these allegations about this poor man? He's traumatized. You have no idea the impact murdering 5 people has on a person.
Oh my god, I didn't mean to.
Like, you didn't mean to get murdered, right?
Objection, Your Honor, I'm mad. I've seen madder. Keep going.
I think I have one more question. Do you think Officer Steelwool murdered you and 4 others?
Do I know he did? Yeah. Do I think he did? No.
Your Honor, I rest my case.
Son of a bitch, that's what self-doubt feels like?
We can't give up. If he wins this case, this goes on our permanent record.
Okay. I can do this. Your Honor, I call Rex Mose to the stand. Woo! So, Rex, what do you think of Officer Steelwool?
I think he's a fine person and a better murderer.
So you admit he's a murderer?
On the one day I was with him.
Your Honor, should we really base this man's conviction off of what he did on one measly day?
Yeah, seems kind of rude. Rex, I have evidence from the night of the murders. What is this?
Oh, that's a gun.
Interesting he knows what a gun is. I thought Officer Steelwool was the murderer here.
Yeah. How do you know what that is if he wasn't the killer?
Did I say gun? I meant brought a 92X full-size handgun.
Your Honor, he's just throwing out random words. He doesn't even know what they mean. He's a dictionary with feet. That's what we call him.
Allow me to ask the others to name that specific object. What is this?
Gex?
A photo.
The letter L.
My gun.
It may be his gun, Your Honor, but Mr. Mose here was the first to identify it. I recommend we hook him to a lie detector for the rest of his time here.
Can we just hook that up to Steelwool?
He's allergic to the law. We can't risk him confessing.
Okay, so Rex, did you kill...
Your Honor, that says it all right there.
This is a heart rate monitor.
Yet Mr. Woles isn't going off right now.
He's not hooked up to one.
Your Honor, can I win now?
No.
Okay. Listen, if they convict you, I'll just start yelling. They can't convict you if you can't hear. That's why the deaf don't go to jail.
Madden, this is just outlaw conviction.
They should outlaw you, you fucking murderer.
I call Wendy's employee to the stand.
Who's gonna be the jury?
So, Wendy's employee, where are you employed exactly?
Why, Wendy's, of course.
And what do you do there?
Well, I'm the employee.
An employee like you getting murdered when he has a job to go to in the morning. Seems a bit unlikely to me.
Well, I just didn't work the next day. I don't buy it. Damn.
So do you really think this man could have murdered a dozen people?
Well, it wasn't a dozen.
He didn't kill a dozen people, Your Honor.
You check the bathroom, they got free soap in there.
Focus. We gotta reel this one in. Like a fish.
Yeah, I put money in this fight. He better win. I call Terry Lessler to the stand.
Terry, long-time vegan, full-time sewer.
If you can't sue a person, why talk to him?
Can you point to the man in this room who killed you and your 4 other cohorts?
Not even a little bit, no.
You're really cock-blocking me here.
I can't even look my killer in the eye. You expect me to use a finger on him?
Well, what do you want out of this trial?
An apology.
And that isn't gonna happen unless you point him out right now.
How can one finger decide a man's destiny?
He's pointing at Rex. He's pointing at Rex.
They should just outlaw me, Your Honor.
Oh, what now?
It is painfully obvious Steelwool is the killer. Just convict him already.
I don't feel like it.
You seem awfully competent. I suppose you wouldn't be opposed to some questions yourself.
What are you saying?
I call Scott Wozniak to the stand. So, Mr. Wozniak.
That's me to you.
You were the only one not injured in any way the night of these murders. No?
Yeah, seems awfully murdery for a not murder. It's weird, right? That was the worst thing I could have said there.
May I ask, what was your relationship with Steelwool prior to this night?
I believe he was tasked with tracking me down after I stole copies of Madden 18.
Oh, so you're an ex-convict and he tried to arrest you. I'd say you're trying to pin this all on him. I'd say maybe you're the killer.
That's impossible! He's a murderer!
A murderer with a heart of gold.
Oh, and I'm not a murderer with a heart of gold?
You're a murderer?
I was lying as a joke!
So you lied in a court of law?
As a joke!
So who was your +9?
The justices of the Supreme Court. We go way back.
How do you know them?
I chaperoned for them.
So you were a bailiff.
Oh, that's what it's called? I thought they just didn't know my name.
So are they gonna show up?
I don't know, let me check.
That's impossible! He's a murderer!
They said maybe.
No way, you know the justices too? I'm their cousin.
I thought you said you had no family.
Well, that was to get the sympathy vote.
Well, we may not be able to ignite sympathy, but we can ignite a threat with that.
He dresses like it's 2005. Like, come on, we're in the 21st century. Dress like it.
No wonder he wanted to supposedly murder you with that attitude.
He was ruthless. He tried to shoot me, and I'm allergic to bullets.
I did it.
Well, that's a blow to your case.
All right, Officer Steelwool, for being so brave and coming clean like that, I'll let you off lightly. You are sentenced to death.
I don't think he did it.